Oh man, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Are you guys ready to try? Oh man, I've been just up and down the wall recently, just trying to get a little bit of, just trying to get a little bit of internet in here. Was able to catch up on a little bit of work, right? Meatball is here. I'm here. I'm excited for it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this bread. We're gonna do extra focused up on the charts today. Boom. So one of the first things that I want you guys to notice is that GameStop peaked over that 195 little barrier right here. And we are going to be paying attention to all of your suggestions and trying our best to stay above the everlasting AT&T universe here, the extended AT&T universe. We're trying our best here. Let's see now. I'm going to have you guys tell me what is up in your universe, right? What's going on with the ticker symbols that you're interested in? What's going on with your Tendy plans, right? We've covered this a couple of times before. I hope you guys saw that video that just came out, the everything squeeze, right? That was from this morning's clip. It's a really good one. Like I consider that one to be a comprehensive explanation. We have a couple more, and we are all going to break it out today. Here's that options chain: $4 million plus another 2, right? $4 million at strike price puts for $100 strike, and $2 million of $50 puts. Now that said, this is probably the same amount. This is dollars amount, right? So we're looking at basically the exact same number of put contracts overall. It's just $2 million here, $4 million here. It's double the strike price. Makes sense. Logic. Here we go. How's everybody doing? Let me see who is in here right now. We got Kenny Yu. We got James Clemens. We got Banjo Sleepy. That's good. Good name. We got Greg Nephew. Greg? Is that you? James Clemens. We got Marco Kwan dropping some spoons in the chat. We have Sanguine. I am late. That's true, but I was here at market open. I was here at 6:25 a.m. I'm going to try something new tomorrow. I'm going to go to sleep early tonight, and then I'm going to be here at like 5 a.m. in the morning, right? Just to catch you guys up. I know some of you are in the East Coast, right? You guys want the early morning experience, so I'm going to bring it to you guys. I'm going to see how many of you show up, and if we can get that concurrent viewer count above 5,000 the whole time, I'm going to be coming back again and again early, right? And we're going to try our best to get that count up right now, which is going to be all the more helpful if you guys can slam that like button for Eric Andres. Hold on a sec. What does Eric want us to do? 20 shares of AMC, we can get that like count to 5K. I know you guys can do it. And 75,000 subs, right? Yesterday we were 800 away. Today we're about 400 away, I think. We're getting real close. Real close here. Blake Exobert putting 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's see. Hey, it's me. Says, well, I can't say your name. BW wins big. Let's see. Champ Zilla Green Grow Jr. I wake up at 5. Ooh. Waking up at 5 is perfectly natural if you're an owl. Got him. Okay, once again, I drew this channel earlier this morning for GME to travel up a very liberal route here from a low of 187, bounced off of that channel and continued onward. This was just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-piece impulse wave that brought us up and ultimately could not bring us over 197. I'm seeing it again here. 1, 2, 3, and then that is all she wrote. Right now we're in the middle of a corrected wave, getting supported by the VWAP here. Let's see if that volumetric weighted average price can support us as we go along. I got this new curved screen here, so I can really just look through and bask at the power here. We also have the cheat code algo here. I am still waiting on the response from that partnership team, but when we do, we're gonna start playing around with it, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have brand new indicators that the simplest, the most straightforward, the most beginner, the greenest of investors can also understand. That's the main point. We're trying to help everybody bring up where, help everybody bring up their own understandings here. No matter where you guys start your journey. Let me see. So, it's just waiting on a couple more people to show up here. Remember, it's hopeful. It's hopeful if we engage with that chat. Let me know what kind of ticker symbols you guys are curious about today. Katie says, Andrew, I can sleep on Friday. No, it's one of my only opportunities to catch up on a bunch of stuff that I have no time to do during the weekday, right? So that's going to be finally some time for us to catch up not only on the AMA for Alexis Goldstein on Reddit, but also a bunch of other opportunities for us to catch up on. Oh, man. Don't mess with your sleep schedule. I know, but it's like the grind, right? It's just as hard to wake up at 6 as it is to wake up at 5. So let's, at least for me, because I normally wake up at like 7. So let's see. VWAP, yes sir, says Daniel Abarca. I like Daniel's attitude. Daniel, you understand. Your back's a smoking or joking? I'm trying to be. We haven't had any internet problems all morning, so that's why I'm finally feeling a little confident. And if that's the case, I'm going to be pushing all the way through to after hours, so you guys do not have to worry. This is your one-stop shop for the kinds of informations that would make you a smart investor, right? We're looking at major plays. We're looking at major reversals, major pivot points, okay? I'm putting in the time right now. Blake Exelbert giving me goats. Is that goat? Thank you for the goat. All right. Hey, can we look at AMC for a good entry point? So, AMC is working the clock right here, trading that sideways trade. That's okay. We talked about yesterday how sideways trading could actually be okay, for the most part. Okay for the most part. For the, let me see if I can continue on this download here. Sideways trading is okay for the most part because it inflicts max pain, which we talked about too, right? Remember max pain? That is an important piece to follow up on later on today. If you guys did not see that clip from earlier in the live stream, I will provide it to you guys in just a sec. Okay, so coming up to 1,000 viewers here. I just love that thumbnail of Kenny G just staring blankly into a void full of fire. I mean, it's on brand. A couple of you said that that's pretty much how you expect Kenny G to look like on a normal basis. We were talking about the FICC before the break. By break, I mean mandatory break forced by AT&T. And there's a little bit highly bullish DD here. Why 5 million per share is actually not a meme. Ooh, okay. Tilon didn't read any price is the right price. Yeah, we know it. We understand already. You can say any price is the right price all day, but if it's not actual DD supporting it, I don't know. Okay. Kramer is not doing a Ask Me Anything. This is pretty obvious. OBV just hit 2.2 billion on GME. Let's see. 25 plus million. I'm going to stop reading such crazy bullish DDs, but I appreciate that. Okay. Chris Fanuf. How's people doing? He's okay. I gave you guys a update earlier today and yesterday that Meatball was going for his surgery. He had a little bit of an anomalous reaction to the anesthetic, so they couldn't bring him all the way into the general anesthesia. So he has to talk to a specialist now. He's a special boy, that's why. Borderlands. Bought a game at the GameStop. Hold on. Ooh, let's make a movie. Let us make a movie. Whoa, this is a 3-minute little movie here. Oh, first assistant director for Leica Studios. Wow, they want to make an actual movie here. Here's their IMDb. Cool. If you have any questions, drop them down here. Also, they have a mailing list. They're making a movie about GameStop. Thank you. Whoa. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Okay. Missing tray. James Clemens says, "Tell your mom I said hi."
Hi, kids.
Hi, kids. Meatball is adorable, I agree. So we are going to do a little bit more tracking, especially for AMC. Someone asked for an AMC entry point, right? I don't know what entry points are because all we do is buy and hold. So we are going to talk quickly about that. And if you guys have any other technical analysis questions, we are going to talk more, not just about AMC and GME. We're going to keep the whole gambit running here. Yeah, but throw some gorillas in the chat for Trey. Big gorilla in the chat to honor our boy Trey. He'll bounce back. His eyes are gonna be perfect in no time. Robin Orban. Let's see. Gio Franco says Vice ran a bit about WallStreetBets donating to conservation efforts. The communists in comments started crying about what we can and can't do with our money and have been labeling us the same as hedge funds. Dumb. Wow. I did not know that Vice ran a bit about that. Speaking of Vice, I am talking to a producer in Vice now. This is different from the Netflix documentary. Just to give you guys a quick update on that. Excited for it. Nothing is set in stone. I think even Matt Kors got confused about that. There's no beef, by the way. Matt also got reached out to by the same people. And I am going to, next chance I get, plug Trey. I already asked him if he wants to be part of this. So gorillas in the chat for Trey. I asked him if he wants to be part of this. I know he does more AMC than GME, but next chance I get, when I talk to the director and the producer next, we're going to talk about it with Trey as a possible guest interviewee on the show. A 3-hour docuseries. I'm excited for it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Gonna get a little comfortable here. Oh boy. Okay, so OBV just hit 2.2 billion on GME. Not a joke. Let me see how long this is. There's a bunch of edits. OBV is hitting a brand new high. As you guys know, OBV is a on balance volume indicator off the charts, right? It is a good, basically a gut check of whether or not a price's a bearish and bullish momentum is validated. So in the times where GME and AMC had seen flash crashes, the OBV was like, ugh, not even bothered, right? Not even phased. That is a big sign of manipulation. Boom, huge sign of manipulation. So there you go. OBV does track up with GME and AMC whenever the stocks do rise naturally. So there it goes, right? If this is an indicator that only rises naturally when the stock rises, but doesn't get phased when it gets shorted and manipulated, that is a major sign that one, an actual high OBV is a bullish signal, if you've ever seen one, and two, that you're likely going to have to talk a little bit closer to the indicators that represent manipulation tactics, just so that we have a clearer picture, right? And you're just learning. Even if you don't believe in the conspiracy, the manipulations, it's all good. We're learning about the indicators that matter. Let's see. Show us Meatball up close. All right. Meatball. How's it going, bud? You okay? How are you doing? How's your day? Doing okay, bud? You tired? Oh, you tired? That's okay. I'll talk so you don't have to. King 831, I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad. I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. My diamond hands are coming on. King, you're not useless. Don't say that about yourself. Okay, let's see. Andrew, give me some good news, brother. I've been holding out for a while, but haven't been able to watch much. Work is busy. Miguel Lopez, here's some good news. OBV just hit 2.2 billion. I was just explaining to the good folks here what exactly is going on and what does OBV even mean. That's an important note here. Also, I've been wanting to read the DTCC is Dad Now report. However, once again, you guys are here for some technical analyses and trend momentum. So I'm going to start with AMC. I'm likely going to then, I've already tracked much of GME's movements. So for now, I'm imagining, let's just do GME real quick. I'm imagining that this is going to trade underneath 180, 195 for the rest of the day. And then if we do see an impulse here, we're likely going to see it track upward here and then likely get rejected again at 200 like it was earlier. Or if it does beat its own VWAP, then we are likely to see it go further and 200, but right now not a ton of signals there. AMC on the other hand, different issue. AMC, let me track it, and then you guys tell me what other tickers you guys want me to look at. Power Hour in 40. Yeah, I came in early today for Power Hour. Meatball Ken has a treat. Here we go. Thanks for hitting that like, guys. That's for 300 likes. Let's go back to the old system. I'm gonna give Meatball treats for every like. Every like helps to go feed a hungry meatball. Next milestone is at 500. Leslie says, much love to Meatball, Mom, and Andrew. Much thanks. Oh, man. Daniel Bostelman, please recap everything in smooth brain talk. I got you. How old is he? He's at 8. He's roughly 8. He's coming on. He's a golden dog, golden age dog. DTC is the data of the market now. That's coming up on deck. But for now, AMC. I would say that this impulse right here, right, is a double bottom here, almost a W right here, moving us up into the 1035s, rejected before it could even hit 1044, and now is a ascending level of support here. So if this was a channel that we could have been following here, in this line, it was in tune at around a half hour ago. However, then it started a brand new corrective wave. I would say right now that since AMC has been trading above 10 solidly for the last week, there isn't a clear entry point that you'll probably be happy with. So if you're holding, right, that's a different issue. But if you're trying to enter AMC, I wouldn't try until AMC stops trading sideways. Gio Franco, can you look at coupon, please? And thank you. You got it. So coupon, and then we're going to move into our DDs that we have yet to read. CPNG. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do CPNG down here. Okay. I want this to be AMC. This can be coupon. Put Mom on. I don't think Mom is free right now. Miguel Lopez says, please tell us that this is ending sooner rather than later. I've been holding for months and it gets tiring. Give us some hope, please, Miguel. I cannot do dates. My dates are bad for the community. So in that sense, today we were looking for a major catalyst in the SLR expiring in the DTCC 004, as well as this new basically huge bombshell, bigger than the Panama Papers essentially, of highlighting the repo scandal that we just covered. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, which is the one I just uploaded maybe 30 minutes ago, that's a big one. Workhorse. We'll just cover Workhorse in a second. WKHS. So Coupang has been on a pretty significant rip on the 5-minute chart. Let's look at the minute hourly chart, a little less significant here. We have a rip from 42 bucks to 50. All right, that's not a bad channel here. So this ascending level of resistance and support, I would say maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. This might be the end of this rip. However, if we have yet the final subwave here, we might be able to track all the way up to 53. So that's what I'm projecting here if we continue on this path. Otherwise, one of the other pieces is that we are likely going to see some turbulence at 52. This is where we rejected multiple times before. So for Coupang, I would say that this is the channel where it would bring us up to 52. If you see the MACD quickly diverge on the 30-minute chart, for the, between the blue line and the orange line, if you see a lot of distance and the orange line is underneath, that's a bad sign for Coupang moving forward. So I would say Coupang is not in a great entry price, especially if you don't want to just make $2 on a $50 stock. However, I do expect there's going to be major turbulence if you go any further than 52. And in terms of risk, obviously we have a triple bottom here. When it comes to 42 bucks, unfortunately that's very low. A more appropriate entry point is below this exponential moving average here, where it topped out multiple times at 47. So if you wanted to enter, I would say 47 makes more sense for Coupang. Workhorse. WKHS. HS, and then CTRM from Honeypot Gaming. I got you. Blake Exobert. Andrew Mo Money runs YouTube. Boom. Oh, have a good day, guys. Sanguine says, how did you decide to start doing YouTube videos? I decided to do it when I realized that editing videos was fun enough for me to try to do it with like karaoke videos for Hamilton. You guys notice that the Hamilton sign is over there? You'll never see my karaoke for Hamilton. But when that started, I was like, well, I can do data science videos too. Started with that, and now ultimately I realized that finance is something that excites more people, and so therefore I still love explaining things even if it's something that is slightly unrelated from data science. I've also seen people ask in the comments for me to prove my data science status. I mean, I work for a company as a data scientist full-time, so that's proof. I worked for a FANG company in Silicon Valley as a data scientist full-time. That's another proof. I have a master's in computational analysis. That's proof. So there's a couple of pieces there. I don't want to feed the trolls, so there is a little bit more context of what kind of data scientist I am. Oftentimes it doesn't take, you don't have to open up a terminal, you don't have to open up a script to fully explain these financial concepts. Look at Workhorse, it's been on a bit of a slide recently. It slid from 1816, that's roughly a double or triple top here. So now that we've touched on 18 bucks, we were supported briefly at 1523, and we've been trending underneath the EMA this entire time after that peak. So I would say right now could be an attractive entry point just based on the risk profile itself. However, I wouldn't say that it's on much of an uptrend. So if I were to build a channel, I would want to see another day's worth of data, because I think what the day-to-day trend right now is trying to move an ascending level of resistance. However, this could easily turn into a long period of consolidation. So for now, I'm going to put this here as a reminder of the channel that I built. However, I don't see Workhorse being anything but a solid long-term hold as of right now, because it does seem to be scraping the bottom of its barrel, its short-term barrel. There's Workhorse and CTRM. Castor Maritime. Oh. Okay, so Meatball. Want some more treats? What does RIP mean? RIP is a fun little term that means growth in a stock price. It parallels dips, which is obvious, right? Dips are just falls in the stock price. So it's an easy way to be able to say rips and dips. Kind of a fun way to put it together. All right, so we see that descending level of resistance and support here for Castor Maritime in the past few weeks. I remember CTRM having a big top at $2 earlier. It was a penny stock for a while, trading underneath $1 before February started. When February did start, we saw this up channel to $2. That's a rise of around $1.40. And when it started dipping, we had one bottom down at 80 cents, and then we had an even deeper bottom at 65 cents. So this is an up channel that would have been attractive for people wanting to make back their losses earlier. However, one of the first thoughts is that this is a double top for CTRM having the opportunity to be rejected once, not twice, but 3 times earlier. So that would be a hard top for us in the short term. I see this descending level. I see that this is one corrective wave that started from 98 cents and dropped all the way to 70 cents. So if we are currently still on that corrective wave part 2, Electric Boogaloo, this could drop us from 86 cents all the way down to, how far did this drop us? 98 to 70, that's 28 cents. This could drop us from 88 to 60 cents. So as of right now, I would say a more attractive entry point is around that 60-cent range. Or if it recontests 69 cents and then bounces off, that could be a good way to be able to get in on CTRM. If you are holding though, in terms of the short term, I don't see any scalping opportunities, but keep on checking for news catalysts. Haters are like hedgies. They're trying to hold us down, bring the haters and get peeled like a banana. Gorilla Gang, baby. Gorilla Gang, baby. Let's go. Let her rip. 6.5 million volume on GME. Crazy low. I wouldn't say that's crazy low, right? We are an hour and a half away from power hour, so this likely means that GameStop's going to close again with less than 10 million in volume. This is just another indication that we are just biding our time, right? A lot of the people, the population that normally trade GameStop, right? We had the 3-month average 45 million a day. 45 million a day. The last time we were able to get 45 million, I can't even remember. It wasn't even Quadruple Witching Day. Like, there's been so many days where we've had like maybe 20 some million, and that's like the top. So as of right now, volume is not a major GME catalyst in the making here. All right, DTC is the dad now. So we got DTC as the dad now, and we have new DTCC filing 30th of March, recalculating contributions for FICC's Doomsday, which is exciting. Ooh, Meatball Cam with Andrew voiceover. That's not a bad idea, actually. If that's what you guys want, 100%. Can you look at Salesforce? Yeah, CRM. You're on deck. CRM is on deck. Is the ETF rebalancing the last hour? How can this affect GME? ETF rebalancing means that you have these 20 or so fruit baskets. Actually, this is a good chance to talk about ETF rebalancing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to pull up the file finder. I'm going to answer this question. There's a couple of questions we need to answer in like a short format here. ETF rebalancing. And then we're going to go back and look at that options chain again. And actually, I'm interested in seeing this options chain for AMC as well. How old is Meatball? About 8 years old, coming on 8 later on this year. 7.5. Meatball's an Italian Greyhound mixed with a Great Dane. Maybe not. I don't think so. Okay, so ETF rebalancing. Mr. Whiteboard. I'm going to have to use my least favorite type of data visualization, a pie chart. Oh, do I need to? Maybe I'll just use like a circle diagram and then I'll draw. Like, this is GME. Yeah, that's good. Hey guys, so what are we going to talk about in this 60-second video? Well, we're going to ask Philbert's question, is the ETF rebalancing the last hour, and how can this affect GME? We've been hearing news that ETFs have been rebalancing ever since Quadruple Witching Day, right? This is the 3-month-long period where we are normally seeing these ETFs rebalance. First, what is an ETF? Second, how can an ETF rebalancing change the outlook for GME and AMC, respectively? And exactly how are the hedge funds either running scared or expecting this? And if you guys watch until the end, you're going to learn what it means to smash that like button early, as well as thank Mr. Whiteboard in the comment section below. So first thing is, this is an ETF, right? Let's say that an individual share looks like this. Well, right now, buying a share, maybe this is like a cherry. This is a cherry. And maybe you're not sure if you like cherries. You're not sure if the risk profile for cherry works for you. That's why an ETF is like a fruit basket. It's going to be a piece of a cherry, and maybe there's going to be like grapes here, right? And then it's going to be banana. The banana here is GME. And so this ETF in particular is XRT, something that we've been covering for a while. So XRT was scheduled to rebalance in quadruple witching day, right? And it doesn't happen immediately. It ends up looking at how much of this fruit basket, right? This essentially a hedged bet over many different types of stocks. Does it still have an even distribution of these fruits, or is 80% of this banana? Right now, XRT, before the rebalancing, had about 20% GME, right? This is the GME banana here. So that means that it is no longer playing the right game. This is not supposed to be 20% banana, maybe about 1% per stock maximum, right? So that means that they have to get rid of GME. So normally this would be bad. Turning 20% of this ETF into just 1% GME means that you have to sell a lot of GME. However, this is likely going to be finding out that half or a good portion of these shares here are actually synthetic. So we talked about counterfeiting shorts, we talked about naked short selling, but one of the ways that a company can short GME without shorting it is by shorting the ETF, the fruit basket that is outside it. So they go and they short this stock by selling it either nakedly or otherwise, and then they now have a big obligation to pay back these synthetic shares that don't yet exist. So in order for XRT to get rid of this first, the hedge funds or the short whales need to first cover these shorts. So we would likely see the price of GME start to rise when the XRT or any other ETF that the hedge funds have been shorting first. This is the price of GME. It likely is going to rise when the rebalancing first starts, but then that sell-off, because ultimately this does have to be a sell-off for the XRT to rebalance, likely we are going to see some major turbulence up ahead. So if that explanation made sense to you, or if you still have a question, drop a comment down below, and we will see you in the money. Thanks for watching. Okay. Pie charts are delicious, you are dumb. Fair enough. Cherry. Oh yeah, whoopsie. Sorry. I don't know how to draw cherries. Fair enough. Didn't realize, but no, yeah, you're totally right. Let's see. I fixed it in the last few streams, but that's a lot of white noise in my mic again. One sec. My computer is feeling frisky today. Pie charts are delicious, you are dumb. Okay, that's a little bit of white noise. Hopefully it'll go away in just a sec. Whoa, sweet emojis. Yeah, right? If you guys become a member, you get some sweet emojis. You get POG, DFV. It's pretty cool. Has the SLR rule expired today? It expires today. It fully is going to not be in effect anymore tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. You're the best at explaining things the ape way. You're welcome. I appreciate that. Let's see. Miguel Lopez says, Andrew, I've been wondering why don't the hedge funds cover their shares, and when the squeeze comes, they just sell when it's at its highest? In other words, cover and sell right away. Makes sense? Ooh. That does make sense. However, they don't have, so if they do cover now, right? They have to give back those shares. So it's an obligation. Actually, that's such a good question. I might make a video about that. Miguel Lopez asking some good questions here. I have a couple of questions that I have to answer eventually, but I'm not going to do them all at once. The short answer is if they cover, they can't keep it. They have to, covering the short means giving it back to the person that they borrowed it from. Hold on. Get rid of this. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do it real quick. Hey, Miguel Lopez is asking, Andrew, I was wondering why don't hedge funds just cover their shares when the squeeze comes, or perhaps cause the squeeze by covering their shares? They're shorts in this question. Miguel is specifically asking about, they have a bunch of shorts. Why don't they just cover those shorts and then when the squeeze happens, sell when it's at its highest? Basically, can they take a long position after they cover their shorts? Yes, they can. Right? But every single share that they buy and then have to cover their shorts with will no longer belong to them. right? They have to buy it and immediately give it back to the person that they borrowed it from. So they don't get to keep it. They would have to buy in excess of those shares, and ultimately it ends up being a question of, one, do they have too much pride and greed to say, well, I guess we've lost, let's just try and make money some other way, and two, how exactly is their bank accounts going to cover enough shares to not only be net positive after covering all their shorts, but also have enough assurance in the market that they'll actually come out on top. It's a risky bet. They've been taking huge risks anyway, and at this point, I think they've dug themselves too deep. If you have questions like Miguel, come on over to the live streams. We go bell to bell on a daily basis, and I'll answer your question there. See you in the money. Whoop. Miguel Lopez answering your question. Cool. Let's see. And also, they have been doing this. It's called a conversion. The married puts that we've talked about in a previous video, right? They can take a long position and then make some money on the way to the top through a combination of shorts and calls. It's risky, right? Okay, Lambo wins, says Gabor Nagi. Lambo win. Oh, 500 likes, which means Meatball gets another treat. Next treat for Meatball is gonna be at 700 likes. Oh, what's up, Warden Elite? It wouldn't be profitable. That's the truth, right? If they wouldn't do it, they would do it if it was profitable, but it's not going to be. Yeah, let us cover the important pieces here. 2,500 of you. I appreciate you guys coming on in, dropping by, learning about the stonks in the chat here. Any other questions before we move on to DTCC is the dad now? Just one of my favorite article names. Reviewing 13.8 FHR forms is poopy. Let's get out of the way. But there's a lot of good info hidden in here. Let me just see how long this is going to be. Oh man, that's long. What can we deduce here? Novin has been increasing puts since second quarter of 2020. Susquehanna International Group's positions here. What can we deduce from this? What can we deduce from all three groups? Will the DTCC change the rules now? Okay, so here let's see the read bold part. Citadel and friends got caught touching bananas in the playground and lied to Daddy SEC about it. They got a new daddy, the DTCC now. Dad, the crayon controller. Dad, the crayon controller. Warden Elite says, do you see the deep in the money call volume from today? Let's see. So this is today. $24 million in 12 call volume. Yeah, I saw the 25 million from like weeks ago. Oh, shoot. Yeah, this just happened. $24 million at a $12 strike? What? Wow. Okay, that's the new title of this video. $24 million at a... Oh my lord. What? $24 million at deep in the money calls. Someone's planning something. Who is planning something? Is the endgame planned? Is the endgame obvious? Hold on, right in front of us. Okay, that's okay. So this is cumulatively. We also have $9 million and $15 strike. So once again, remember we saw this call option chain a while ago, and now there's just millions of dollars. This is a total of like. Hold on, I'm just gonna do this a little quick math here. 4, 4, 9, So that's 17, 20, 25, another 25. That's 50, 55. I'm gonna say this is $55 million worth of calls, the deep in the money calls. That's insanity. Wow. 700 likes. Here we go for Meatball. Next one is gonna be at 1,000. Come on, you want to sheet? Okay. If the DTCC gets left holding the bag, who pays to cover the DTCC? The DTCC has $1 trillion insurance package. GameStop is pressing up against 195, not liking it, getting rejected as we speak here. Wow, that's insanity. Blake Buck says, what you're witnessing is these trading sideways is implied volatility crush. It lowers the price of options so that these hedges can cover for cheaper. Red crayon bad, green crayon good, says Ghosty. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here. Whoop. Whoop. Whoops. Hold on a sec. There we go. GME hard to borrow rate. Hold on a second, let me see this. Hard to borrow environment. Abe's seen a lot of discussion, particularly today, around the seemingly low borrowing rates for GME shares and wanted to provide an explanation of the rate mechanics for short borrowing and how the current GME rates do in fact reflect a hard to borrow environment. Aha. This will be pretty helpful. Too long didn't read. Let's go this. Jonathan Baldwin says, hold on, I gotta read some of your questions here. Drake Boot says, yo, Andrew, thank you for being here. Really enjoy your live streams. I'm new to the channel, investing and trading with some time alone. Well, now you're doing it together with us. Oh, I appreciate that. Drake, you are welcome here. Peter Garcia says, do the hedgies realize our strength in I was poor before I can be poor again, which means we can actually afford to hold as long as we need to. However, they can't short forever because we gotta eat. Ooh. CRM is on deck, so don't worry. Will Melvin Capital ever get margin called? I believe the calculation originally was that GameStop needs to get to like 1,500, somewhere in the quadruple digits. Then below $2,000, somewhere in the quadruple digits, then Melvin would have been margin called. However, this changes because we have more information about how sneaky Citadel and Melvin are being. Once again, Mostafa is asking about short amount. And as it turns out, right, we covered in that video how to lie to FINRA. You don't need to pay attention to the short amount as nearly as much as you need to understand that they can short the stock without shorting the stock at all, right? With married put conversions and with a lot of different sneaky tactics. Let's see. That was GME. $55 million of GME calls. No, live will say breaking. Let's see. So yeah, that's 24 million at $12, and then all together around $55 million worth of deep in the money calls. No, it's in GME. Expires when and what could it do? Expiration, we could look into a little bit deeper, but it's likely going to expire like sometime in mid-April. We experienced this earlier with April 16th calls on March 29th. Yeah, actually, this is a good time to do a quick video on this. So we experienced this on the 25th, I want to say. No, when did we experience this? It couldn't have been on the 29th. Yes, it was on the 29th. So at the beginning of this week, we saw how much? $26 million worth of calls between $60 and $90, right? So that's 26 million. Let's do this video real quick. Get rid of Miguel real quick here. I think I already did him, so we're gonna get rid of that entirely. Hey guys, on the 29th, we saw $26 million of deep in the money calls, sub $100 calls for GME. Today, we're seeing 55 million, and this is something that you guys are going to want to pay attention and learn about. What is a deep in the money call? It is a call that is lower. Its strike price is lower than the actual price of the stock. GME has not been $100 for a good long time. Basically, back when it spiked from $90 to 180 was the last time it was $90. However, somebody is betting that they would like to buy GME for $90. At $5 million worth of calls here, we have $15 million worth of calls at $70 strike and $6 million worth of calls at $60 strike. That's only on the 29th, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, these are all calls roughly expiring around April 16th and likely akin to the calls from Roaring Kitty himself. However, when he made those calls, it was a different story. This is another $55 million worth of calls, especially congregated around $12. Somebody wants the option, not the obligation, to buy $12 as GME for $12, $24 million worth of contracts, and a total of $55 million worth of contracts between $19 and $3. So somebody's making some pretty strong bets about where GME is going to be. Now that said, we can assume that somebody has data that we don't, right? We can assume that this is going to be a very expensive bet for somebody if GME doesn't start moving in the right direction. And which direction is that? Well, these calls will still be in the money, even if GME is staying exactly where it is. However, it would have been really expensive for that bet. So where are they expecting GME to be? And how can we learn more about this? Follow along with the show. We are going to continue updating you live, and we will see you in the money. Oh, man. What are calls and puts? Calls are options, not obligations, to buy a stock at a certain price. For example, there are $24 million worth of contracts here that someone wants to buy GME at $12, even though it hasn't been at $12 since January. So that's the tricky ticket here. Right? This is the more deep in the money, the more expensive, because it's a safer bet. So therefore, somebody is throwing a shoot ton of money at the wall, expecting something to break or something to fall. There we go. I'm a poet. Didn't even know it. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe this is Citadel's new scare tactics. Maybe this is a tactic to this going long so that they can more orders to bore people into selling. Patience is key, guys. This doesn't seem to have any bearing on the price so far. This is exactly where GME has been trending all day, right? And calls and puts far, far away from the actual price action normally don't change the landscape of the price very much. We have this far, far out of the money call at $800, right? Someone put another 122,000 there. That's likely going to be gone by the time it expires, because GME to 800 is a nice dream, but if not enough people believe in that dream, it's just not going to happen. Out of the money calls is a really easy way to lose a ton of money. Stephen L says, I'm so confused. What is the difference between in the money and out of the money? In the money calls is an expensive call that says, I assume the price of the stock is going to be above this price, above $12. Well, that's a pretty simple bet. So it's going to be, depending on how long the contract is, a hefty bet in order for the contract seller to take you on. Can you imagine if you said, hey, I'm going to bet you that the sun's going to rise tomorrow, right? That person's going to be like, okay, bet, but you're going to have to pay a ton in terms of premiums in order for the opportunity to make that bet. Now that said, a deep out of the money call can be much cheaper, depending on how long the contract is, of course, because this is unlikely to happen, right? Getting GME up to $800 even by mid-April or even at the end of April is much less likely than GME staying above $12. And then puts are the exact opposite. It's an opportunity to sell. They are bluffing millions of dollars will be used to scare paper hands. Good morning, Apes and Mo Monkeys. Had some real life stuff to do earlier. Hope everyone is well and ready to go to the moon. Alan Rudabush, we are happy to have you. Thanks for coming on and learning about stonks here. So once again, if you guys are just joining, we just covered these $55 million of additional deep in the money calls here. Jeez. Okay, so let's take a look at, where did that article that I have? Here it is. GME hard to borrow. So the borrowing fee rate for GME does not reflect the full picture of how costly it is for short hedge funds to borrow shares. Remember, in the beginning of this morning's live stream, we covered that there are basically no shares left of GME to borrow, and yet it's very, very cheap. Super duper cheap. Hold on. This is not that easy to see. I need to find that other picture. I think it was Renzel. I put that picture up here. So let's go to Renzel here. Okay, Renzel posts. Good chance to see if he's updated anything. Hey, good morning from Australia again, Andrew. What's up, Free J? Free J is a good name, actually. Where'd it go? Here. So this is the borrow fee in relationship to the short availability, right? Let's look at TCAT. If you guys have been following this channel, we've had a couple of analyses of TCAT. Basically, there's absolutely nothing to borrow in terms of TCAT, and that's why it's so expensive. However, this is a logarithmic y-axis, by the way. GME is on the exact same like inability to borrow. There's barely any availability to borrow, and yet it's lower than 1% to lend out. So that's very, very strange, and we're going to be able to figure out why soon. Okay, one sec. Carpal. Dennis Markov says this could be Citadel. They can exercise the calls and then sell to lower the price. Calls are probably already hedged, so the market makers will not have to buy those shares. Christopher Katsev says, OMG, maybe someone got insider news from yesterday that they will do a stock split there for. Okay, let's not spread FUD. That definitely does not seem to be supported, right? We're not spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt here. Let's see, and the price is not, once again, this is a normal corrective wave here, right? This is absolutely not something that would, if $55 million worth of calls deep in the money, right? if it had an effect on GameStop, like 50 cents down on the day after contesting 195 all day. This is basically exactly what we're expecting. Let's see. Mad Madu X Gaming, what's up? He says, hi, Andrew. No shares to borrow means that they aren't able to drive the price violently down, so those puts won't help them except to create FUD. One's most important pieces, right, is that it seems like the rebate rate is another critical aspect to account for. And a negative rebate rate, which we've seen GME have for the last 2 weeks, is indicative of a hard-to-borrow security environment. The more GME shares that shorts borrow, the more their cash is tied up as collateral. The higher the GME share price, the higher the amount of that required collateral. The higher the amount of the collateral, the longer the borrowed shares are not returned, the higher the amount of cash required to pay the share lender at settlement of the loan. And we know this, right? This is bleeding them dry. Here is a logarithmic chart on the x-axis from 1% to 1,000% here, right? So it goes from 1, 10, 100. Everybody is on this distribution fairly, sensically. Makes sense. But GME on the very bottom, where it shares the same x-axis as TCAT, ridiculous. Okay, we have DTCC rule. Major edit 1, just reviewed, okay, hold on, fixed a couple of typos. Major edit 2, I just reviewed the values in the 13F filing. So this is the, DTCC is the dad now, one sec. I don't know what these awards do, but I think they cost money. Still not financial advice. Why would the DTCC change the rules now? So this paragraph is something that we're going to cover in just a second. Did we break our beautiful cup handle? So our cup handle was driven by low volume, but it seems like this handle is a little bit crooked now. As of right now, if we can ignore this dip, this handle still is driven by low volume and sideways trading, right? With a small amount of negative consolidation. I wouldn't worry about it. Do calls expire tomorrow at close? Essentially, right? Because there's no trading on the Friday, so you can't exercise anything. Okay. GME to 100K, AMC to 50K. Everyone have a great year. This is Big T Gaming. Let's see. Yeah, I'm talking to Warden right now, actually. Maybe like 19,000 per call. So that is 190 bucks per call. That makes sense. 190 bucks. It's basically like paying, because imagine just logically how much money you have to pay in order for someone to feel comfortable with you buying GME for 12 bucks. Essentially the difference of whatever the price of GME is, right? It's like buying a at the money call. At the very least, if you buy an at the money call, you're still gonna have to pay a premium. Right? If you buy a deep in the money call, you're gonna basically have to pay all of the difference of whatever GME is at right now. It's 190, you have to pay at least 190 bucks. Times 100, that's 19K. Let's see. Yeah. What 372? DFE has 500 calls at $12 strike still for April 16th, right? DTCC rule changes here. Hold on a sec. OBV just hit 2.2 billion on GME, not a joke. I'm gonna send this to Warden and see what he thinks about this. we're getting close to 500. Just 7 more subscribers, and we only have 500 subscribers away from 75K. That'd be great. If you guys are coming along for your financial journey, I salute you, right? It's not that easy to be able to learn as much as you can about the financial world and hold down a full-time job. Boy, do I know it. So if you guys are excited to learn as much as you can about the financial markets, drop a subscribe and a bell button down below, and we're going to continue covering exactly where all of these deep in the money calls are coming from. So I'm doing some digging myself here. Let's see. Power hour. Oh, let me bring out my bell. Power hour, ladies and gentlemen. One more hour until market closes. And then after that, only one more day until markets close for 4 days, I think. Is Easter Monday, are they closed? We have Easter Sunday, but the day after Easter. Spoons in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys do have ticker symbols, I see a call for laser. CRM is first on deck, of course. If you guys who have ticker symbols, let me know, because we do have only 1 hour left on the day. Let's see. Charles K. Miguel Lopez, Andrew, you are a monster, man. Thank you for what you do daily. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad we answered your question earlier. If you do have a question specifically, no question is too dumb, right? If you have a question specifically about what is up with the markets, we are going to move straight through to after hours. And then tomorrow, I'm going to go to sleep a little early, and we're going to wake up and cover the last day of trading for this week. Brandon Clark, my hair is looking great today. I need a haircut, but thank you. I appreciate that. Spoons in the chat. Oh, I see. Friday, all markets are closed. Monday, all European ones are closed. Okay, so we have CLVS. More people want to look at WAFU. Let's see. Definition of OBV per Investopedia. So we were covering OBV a second ago. OBV hits a new high while the price tests resistance, bullish divergence, predicting the price will break resistance and surge higher, playing catch up. Price hits a new high while OBV grinds at or below the last resistance level, bearish divergence, predicting the rally will stall or reverse. Okay, this is just straight up about resistance here. Okay, so OBV gives us the most reliable feedback around tests of major highs and lows, making it a perfect tool to measure potential breakouts and breakdowns. So right now, it is predicting a major bullish signal as of this article getting written 11 hours ago. I don't think that this DTCC is dad now video. I don't think that this one has too much meat in it. However, this FICC, recalculating its distributions, contributions to the doomsday scenario does seem significant here. But is this about GME? No. Can it affect GME? Yes. Okay, so in that sense, not too bullish on reading this one. Let's see. So GME hard to borrow environment. Let's look at this again. So this is the, if you guys are just joining us, $55 million worth of deep in the money calls for GME. That's right, calls. Deep in the money calls for GME. What is going on here? Colton Christensen's ultimate play for noobs. Buy GME shares and hold forever. Let's see. Yeah, $24 million out of $12. $24 million in the calls at a $12 strike. It's a lot of moolah. Okay, so CRM Question, why won't hedgies just go long on the way up and short the way down from Valhalla? By the way, I eat crayons. RG, this question we answered very similarly to what Miguel Lopez asked. And essentially what we explained last time. We could do this, we could add it to the roster later, but the main idea is, yeah, this is not currently relevant. They have a certain amount of calls that they need to buy into. Let's say that they buy an at-the-money call to go long, right? They buy a $200 at-the-money call. The price goes up to $800. Now they've made $600 for each share if they sell and exercise their $200 calls, right? Unfortunately, I know this is inverse, hold on. There. Let's say the price goes up to $800, and so they make $600 on each one of their shares from this call. So they actually get 600 times 100 of these shares, right? They still have shorts. No matter what, they're going to have to either one, give these back to the people that they shorted, or they need to essentially be able to make the difference here. And if they shorted at like $4, they'll never catch up. They essentially are incapable of catching up. They could buy deep in the money calls at $4. Maybe that's what we're seeing right here, right? Unlikely, but if that's what we're seeing here, they could buy deep in the money calls, but their premiums are so high that it wouldn't make sense. Like we said, a deep in the money call is likely going to cost as much as the stock itself, if not more, in terms of premiums. Mavis is beautiful, says Vegas Chef. I gotta go see it myself. Mavis up 23% on the day. Oh, that is amazing. Wow, I was thinking about buying some too. Darn it. Mavis, it was at the bottom of the barrel today, pushing through, put on her best dress, like Trey would say, and she is pow, straight up through. Watch that MACD diverge just beautifully on the 30-minute chart, right? It is moving up, and unfortunately the RSI is also taking note, and it's at $84. Could be overbought soon. However, as of right now, Mavis gets a spot in our bully corner. Very bullish on Mavis right now. Mavis for MVP. And Vegas Chef Andrews makes it clear that oftentimes people don't exercise their calls, they just sell it at a profit. Let's see. 4 rough ideas for the Mo Monkey Moon Platoon render. Okay. What render are we talking about here? Oh, cool. Oh, sweet. Oh, these are really dope. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. I will... Oh, that Meatball wearing a space helmet? I am totally game. If that sounds fun to you, super cool. Wow, someone just reached out as a real estate agent. I am actually interested in buying real estate. So once again, if you are an accountant, a lawyer that knows how to turn an LLC into an S Corp, or a real estate agent, I'm crowdsourcing the Mo Monkey Moon Platoon. If you're any of those 3 people or know a good one, send me an email at andrewmobusiness@gmail.com. Let's see. Maybe it's up 25%. Yeah, it continues to rise. Pushed up 20 to 22. I would say that Mavis is on a wild ride. Let's put it on the minute chart so we can see all of those beautiful candles here. Mavis is on this wild ride upward. I would be ecstatic if I bought in. I was thinking about buying as well. Just wasn't sure how much. That would have been an amazing play. Triple top here at 1380 and then straight to the moon. Let's see if there's any news about Mavis. No. Yeah, nothing in WeBull. Someone said UI was also stock to watch. Ubiquity, down 12%. I don't see it. Sunworks and BlackBerry and Ubiquity among losers. That's hilarious. Didn't Yahoo Finance just say focus on UI? Yeah, sorry, Yahoo Finance literally the other day we read that FUD article that's like BlackBerry is a winner in our book. Not in reality though. Looking a little sideways for both of our boys today, but if this is staying between Max Payne, that's perfectly fine. Cody Mitchell, you should send an email to me at andrewmobusiness@gmail.com. And give Meatball some head scratches. Hooked on GPIN Productions. Once you establish a corporation with the state, file Form 255-3 with IRS to convert to S corp. It's pretty simple. You can do it yourself. Oh, in that case, I'm no longer looking for a lawyer. I'm just looking for an accountant and a accountant to do taxes. So basically, an accountant to do taxes and a real estate agent. Scott Steele says, breaking, Microsoft has won a contract to build more than 120,000 custom HoloLens augmented reality headsets for the U.S. Army. The contract could be worth up to $21 billion over 10 years. Wow. I think we passed 1,000 likes a while ago, so we're going to give Meatball a whole bowl of treats at 2,000 likes. So Meatball's going to get some major tendies if we can get up to 2K. And remember, guys, there's always money in the banana stand. No, there's always goals here. Like Eric Andres, he didn't get to buy his AMC yesterday. And if we're looking for people to buy GME, right, we're looking to hit 75K and 77,777,000 subscribers. We're getting close. Getting real close. What up, says Ryan Olson. Hey, how's it going? Okay, so if you guys do have a question for ticker symbols, I'm looking for them. Lehman Brothers filed for Chapter 11 on September 15, 2008. Isn't that date close to or related to one of the witching days for options expiring? September, so it goes March, June, September. Yeah, that is really close. It's close to the third quadruple witching day of the year. So it goes March, and then March 19th was the day that was supposedly the infamous quadruple witching day, where GME traded sideways for a good amount of time. However, then we have June, and then we have September. So yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so we have wow, Microvision just on a non-stop rip. 32%. Oh, I missed out. I missed out. Well, if you guys didn't get your 2 free stocks yet, this is a good time. Maybe one of them will be Microvision, because back when everyone's getting AMCs because it was around 10 bucks, Microvision was also around 14, and you would have been seeing some major tendies up here. Okay, so let's see. People want to see CSCW. Vegas says, man, I wish I would have held on to my Mavis calls. Son of a... Kraken stonks. Okay, let's see. Someone please send Andrew a quiet keyboard. My bad. I thought you guys liked the clickety clack. Click, 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 clack, clack, clack. Mavis, baby. Oh, easy money on the way down, not financial advice, says Colton. Okay, we can read a little bit about Ubiquity. So Mavis on a non-stop 40% rip right now. Is there a narrative that we can tell about Mavis right now? Woof. $18 average, someone is saying. Unemployment dude. I want to show off Sean Connolly's work here. He's just a student, but wow, look at these renders. So guys, check this out. I'm not sure which one of these is going to be the one we finally choose, but look at that. Bam. Bam. Whoa. These are really cool. Sean, let me tell you which one I think is the best one so far. I really like the rocket. I think the fourth one is my favorite so far. I think is the clearest, most compelling. Boom. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Let's go back and look at the OBV. Just hit 2.2 billion on GME news. I couldn't type with all 5 fingers until college. It's because I kept cheating. I would put like I would put the keyboard like hider up, and then I would just only be able to type with 3 fingers. But then I learned from that. You guys watched the Typing of the Dead? That was pretty. Ichiba Senpai says, I've had Mavis at $9, 2,000 shares. You just doubled your money, good sir. Wow, 2,000 shares. So that is 20,000 up. Wow, congrats. Big grats, man. Gain, we got some gain prawn over here. Mother of all short squeezes. Let me just repeat it again. He believed that when the volume increased sharply, without significant change in the stock's price, the price will eventually jump upward or downward. So this is currently like one of the biggest indicators for the short squeeze here for OBVs. That's why I do want to be able to cover this briefly. Cup and sandal pattern is forming here. OBV is a cumulative predictive measure. I think this is a great learning point for most beginner investors here, so I want to be able to cover it in a second. It's just that the market closing is so exciting. Once again, we had the $55 million of deep in the money calls that we were looking at earlier, and it does not seem to have adversely affect GME's prices, although it is now trading more sideways than we were hoping. This correction should be ending soon, and if it can retest the VWAP, we should see some actions. In the meantime, if you guys want to send me some ticker symbols, let's see them. Ticker symbol suggestions. Give me 20 seconds of ticker symbol suggestions and scissors and gorillas in the chat while I do a quick astronaut break. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Meatball, you stay here. Don't move. Okay. Did you guys enjoy a little bit of Meatball? So, we are here to talk. So, CRM, you're coming up first. And then TNXP, I've been actually considering going back to Tesoro and check it out. So, Tesoro, and then let's do. Hold on. What is the first ticker symbol suggestion here? ZOM. Okay, so ZOM. CRM for sure. And then I saw, I want to go back and listen to me. What did I say? Then let's do, hold on, what, okay. Latency is too fast. Okay, let me just do CRM first. I'm gonna do it on AMC's spot here so we don't forget when people come in and ask, hey, what's going on with the title of the video? So Zomedica here. Scissors in the chat, thank you, Jarek. Okay, so Zomedica, and then we're gonna go back to our golden boys in just a second. Always check for a little bit of news, and then I go to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so these are levels of support and resistance that I drew like weeks ago. I haven't looked at Zomedica in a while, I don't think. And they hold up. Right now, Zomedica is, after this stepwise impulse here, back in February, it has been stuck between these two levels of support and resistance basically non-stop. In that sense, it is currently at the end of a small impulse leading into a corrective wave. If this corrective wave stops and recontests that VWAP, we could see an ascending level here, bringing us directly to the essentially what I'm trying to say is this is the lowest level that it can be after several weeks of trading between two levels of resistance and support. Unless something like a terrible news catalyst is in the way, I would say that this is actually an excellent entry point. So if you are bullish on Zomedica or you're holding, I expect to see that this channel to play out. And let's check back in a couple of days. Mavis is flying. Mavis is up 50%, $18. It was hit. Mavis, Microvision, it was just a matter of time. Wow, I should buy in Palantir right now in that sense. Hold on, I'm gonna put in Palantir real quick as my own, then CRM. So Palantir, yes, I was thinking about buying down here at 21 bucks. It's up 6% today. Nowhere as bad as Mavis though. Oh man. Mavis squeeze? Squeezes are a specific phenomenon when it comes to like coerced buying. So that's why squeezing is slightly different. But I think it's Mavis is just having its day in the sun right now. Saw a high of 195, struggling now. We're seeing a small thin red candle bringing it back down to 18 bucks. So Palantir right now has started to top off against $24, right? I think this might actually be a lower level of resistance here because it did bounce off a little earlier, which is fine. So in that sense, I think that Palantir is actually maybe on a corrective wave soon. Let's find out. I'm going to keep a closer eye on Palantir for the rest of the week. CRM, you're on deck. Mavis is ripping, seriously. All right, Salesforce up 1.5% today after, wow, look at that beautiful stepwise rip here. So look at that impulse right there. This is something that I really like to see. I'm building a channel here so that we can have CRM test this next level of resistance, which is going to be almost a triple top here at 216. Triple topper. This is a big old W. This is a head and shoulders pattern that is exactly what we expect to see when we are expecting bearish momentum. Now that said, this has been a resistance level that has been difficult to test for a long time. Last time we were up this high was at 250. So that's just a reminder of the reward that there's going to be some major turbulence on the way up to 216. If you don't plan on just making $4, I'm expecting that we are going to be rejected again at 216. So in terms of entry points, this is not great. However, if it does test above 216, its reward of going back up to 250 is much greater. So expect to if you're trying to scalp CRM, jump in basically right around 216 if the MACD still is far diverged from the signal line. Mavis is on a trip. Mavis is tripping downward. Uh-oh. Mavis has been, look at that. On the 30-minute chart, it's almost indecipherable. So Mavis jumping up on this channel upward. You can actually almost account for this because this play right now is this current slope. So when it started to diverge further, like almost an exponential path, you could expect a pullback right here if you were tracking the channel as the way that I have been tracking. Now it is bouncing off of this channel again. If it's I put up that resistance at 19 bucks, I'm imagining it's going to get stuck at around 19 bucks today. But I'm going to stop that channel early and let's watch it bounce off of this channel that I just impromptu created here. What's happening, says Brandon Brown. Please. Okay, people have been really asking about sundial. CTRM I literally just did. So go back in the live stream and check that out. But we will do... Mavis, no! Don't fall out of my channel. Mavis, please, I have a reputation. Sundial. Whoa! The minute chart for sundial is looking weird. Okay, so sundial is something that I've been following for a good amount of time, as you can see. Sundial, yeah, this might be the bottom of the barrel. You might just buy into it because of the risk inherent in it is at its lowest point. So if you believe in weed stocks, might not be a bad time. However, there is absolutely nothing indicating that it's going to rip anytime soon. This is just a mitigated risk. So in terms of a floor, lowest you can get is another 13 cents down on your investment. I imagine that it's fine. Yes, Ichiba Senpai said it's Microsoft $22 billion thing. Let's see if Microsoft is taking that news well. Ah, it took it pretty well. At a high of 239. This might be a great entry point for Microsoft, actually, if you guys have not gone in quite yet. With pretty, I mean, this is essentially the most passive investing possible. Microsoft's not going anywhere. Android, sorry, not Android, PCs are all over the place. So I would say Microsoft has just solidified its position in that market thanks to the US Army HoloLens, very cool. And that connects directly to what Mavis is doing, right? Virtual reality, very cool. Let me see. Oh, Vegas Chef Andrew is asking, this is option sonar for the options. Mavis is Trey's baby. Congrats to him. Gorilla's in the chat to honor our boy Trey for having Mavis grow up so well. So well. Thank you for growing up, Mavis. They grow up so fast. So it is falling on my channel here. But that's okay. It is, I believe, being supported by the EMA here. So let's see if it recontests. The next path for Mavis is likely all the way up to 1929 by end of day. We only have 30 minutes left on that day. This is the runway that it has left here. Okay. Other ticket suggestions are welcome. We have Discovery. Let's look at Discovery here. So Discovery, as we know, tanked. Whoa! What? 71%? Wow, it recovered really fast after that Archegos fiasco on Friday. Okay, so it tanked from 90 bucks. So it was only trading at like 90 bucks earlier. And now, so unfortunately, I cannot say that this is natural growth. It tanked from 90 bucks to 60 bucks to 50 bucks, right? So that was a tank of like 30 to 40%. This was because Archegos went down, right? They got margin called, and then it recovered much of its gains here. It would have been a pretty rational guess to say that this is equilibrium here. However, no, it's just been on a major rip. So one major corrective wave, impulse wave that brought it from 72 to 152. That is not normal. That small correction afterward brought it down to 108. So 148, losing 40 bucks of value in a small amount of time. Discovery is dangerous. Right now it is a runaway stock, and it in terms of volume, let's see, probably 3x its volume, at least 1.5 million volume with its average volume of 3,000. It has 1.25 million volume today. Its average is 3,000 a day. That's ridiculous. So as of right now, this is not a normal day. You basically have no ability to do fundamentals or even momentum-based calculations on this. It is a dangerous stock. I would stay clear unless you want to lose a lot of money. This double top does make me a little suspicious though, right? Why did it top off twice at 150? Are people trying to just make that a mental barrier, or is that actually something that Discovery wants to push? When was the last time it was at 150? Let's go out to the daily chart. Is that an all-time high? $7 earlier in the year. This is an all-time high for Discovery. Okay, yeah, dangerous. Under Armour, sure. Ooh. Look at Disca A. You're looking at Disca B. I mean, someone asked for Disca B. Is that the wrong one? Really? But it's ripping. Let me see Disca A. What? So wait, if this is the stock that was tanked by Archegos, okay, so they tanked from $80 to $40. Okay, then what was I looking at? My bad, guys. But let's go back to Under Armour real quick. Jason Collins, I appreciate the super. You guys, that keeps the train rolling, right? When you guys hit that join button next to the subscribe button or press the super chat button, that really helps the show, and I appreciate it. Okay. Under Armour. Okay, I like this progressive growth. So this is on the daily chart, of course. Triple top here at quadruple top here at about $10. It's an ascending level of resistance though, so that's something to consider, as its last time it contested is roughly $1 high in the first time it contests. This ascending growth pattern here where it tops out at about $20, so that's about 50% growth in less than 2020, so less than 5 months, about 20% growth. Sorry, 100% growth from $10 to $20. Honestly, it's been a great year for the market despite the pandemic. So, let's see, 30-minute chart. We're seeing the beginning of a impulse wave here with the high of $20 reached just a couple of days ago, back on the 16th. So that was 2 weeks ago. I would say right now that the risk-reward ratio is pretty advantageous, although not perfect. There's a triple bottom down here at about $17. So right between $17.40 and $20, about $2.50 spread here, where you could, if it pushes past the EMA with more force, it could bring it all the way up to 20 in the near term. I would say scalping Under Armour could actually be a play for this amount of volatility between $17.50 and $20. It is a calculated risk. Melvin and friends, everyone says Sundial makes bad weed compared to others. You actually can't be sure you own a share or it's just a share that's created from naked shorting. How can you be so sure to have your share? This is over. Melvin, stop naked shorting our favorite stocks. Melvin. Okay, how are this deep in the money calls possible? Well, it just costs a big premium, so normally this wouldn't be rational, but it's totally possible. And we are still investigating as we speak. However, that 24 million is standing tall, ridiculously tall. That's completely abnormal. Put the title stocks back in the rotation. Okay, so look back at AMC. AMC just trading absolutely sideways here. Nothing to see here, guys. Are we getting close to 2K? How many likes do we have? Put them in the chat, because we need 77,000 subscribers and 5K likes. Let's give Meatball a treat. Pay him in advance. You chilling? Having a good time? I always have a good time talking to you guys. Mavis Catalyst is Microsoft. Yep. So it looks like Mavis has fallen out of my channel that I drew here. However, it was close to recontesting that again. It seems like a hard ceiling is forming. But if it does get rejected again at 18 bucks, well, this is something that whoever believes in Microvision's actual price will have more information for us. Look at AMC again. Can we look at CTXR? Sure. Put the options chain back on. $1.2K. Well, hey, that's the math doesn't make sense, guys. You know how much I love math. 3,500 of you, only 1,200 likes. Gotta get that math to start making some sense. Oh, it looks like I have been contacted by like 4 real estate agents. So this is still your chance. Go, if you're a real estate agent for the Bay Area, let me know because I am looking to buy real estate. Oh, look, Melvin is back. Melvin says wrongly formulated. How can I be sure that I actually own a stock and not just an artificial one created from shorts? And what happens if that goes back to normal? Or does shares get diluted? Or, here are the questions. Melvin, let's do a quick, you're on deck for this quick 60-second explanation as soon as we get back after the break. Boom. How can I be so sure that we actually own the stock? So we'll answer that question in just a sec. Holy moly, Mavis Bavis. People are like GME. Let's look at GME. So GME, trending downwards on that corrective pattern here. This is one of the most important things to consider here is that at the end of the day, GME still trading at less than 8 million volume and is not going to be likely to break 10 million today. Bad volume, holding, not a lot of apes buying, but all the apes are holding. Uber guy says, do you think stocks will fall if Biden does tax plan? I haven't looked that deeply into his tax plan. I've been hearing about it, so I need to do a little bit of research on that. Can you check CSCW and HOFV? All right, you guys are on deck. I want to keep my eye on Mavis, but HOFV. And we'll keep GME up here, but CSCW, you're on deck after this. CTXR. Mavis Moon. Mavis has been halted. Makes sense. What do I use to stream? I use OBS. Oh, man. So. Hey. Hey, hi. Oh, no. Be careful. Be careful, Meatball. You're good. You're good. Okay, so. CTXR. By the way, I wouldn't worry about the GameStop. It seems like it's ending its corrective wave. So CTXR is at the end of a correction after meeting 220. Is this the lowest it can go, though, is the question. So what is the risk here? One bottom out at $1.30. Is this where it was bottoming out earlier too? Slightly lower, actually. So this was where the resistance comes to play. It supported before, resisted before. Okay, the bottom right now is $1.45. And now we're seeing multiple tops here at $2, although it's a little trickier to see where this channel is actually going and why it stopped around $1.70. As of right now, I would say that the risk here is dropping down 40 cents. However, the reward here is pretty high. Depending on catching this wave, a good entry point would be on the way back up. Doesn't matter if it starts going back up here or goes back all the way down to $1.40. You want to be able to catch it when the MACD line has sharply deviated from the signal line above it. So as of right now, CTXR, I would say that you are not in a fantastic entry point, and if you're holding, I would say that the correction is over. Correction is tested and over. CSCW. Grind Time says, when is the meeting with GME? That you're likely talking about the one from yesterday, and that one is over. That one was closed door. Hold on, I'm just making sure I'm reading some of your answers here. Brenda says, love you, Andrew. Hope Trey is okay. Loved him too. Love, present tense, love Trey. Okay, so CSCW, Color Star Technology, just 19 minutes left in the day until Power Hour is over. And then we have a lot of stuff to digest here. So we have $1.20. Did I ever finish that download of my own freaking video? Oh, it did finish. Thank the Lord. I was wondering if it would ever finish. Hey, we got 74,506 subs, so that's 500 away from 75K. Real close to making Chris Rakis get his goal. 75,000 subscribers, guys. We're getting close. That subscribe button is friend. Okay, one sec. Let me see if this actually has been fixed. Email me, because I... Nope, this is just broken forever. Okay, so back to the options chain here. So CSCW, I would say as of right now, oh, okay, so major correction here from $2. This seems like a, this is a suspicious correction here from $2 all the way down to $1.20, and then it happens again from $2.60 to $1.50. So one thing that you'll notice is that both of these corrective pulses had occurred from an impulse that happened after hours. So this impulse happened after hours, this impulse happened after hours. I imagine that there's a news catalyst each time, and it is giving me the vibes that this stock is going to, unless you trade after hours religiously, this stock is going to get away from you after hours and then dump every single time in the morning. Dumps right here. This is mid-afternoon dump, and this is a morning dump. I would say CSCW is a volatile stock. If you're currently holding on to it, make sure to be able to have an app like WeBull that not only gives you 2 free stocks if you guys use the link in the description or the one pinned in the live chat, but also will be able to then turn around and give you major access to selling your stocks on after hours and pre-market. Music Hunter says, I'm not liking AMC right now. AMC isn't moving, right? Let's see. Let's go back to AMC real quick. Yeah, it's not moving at all. 1.5% down, right? AMC, you're doing fine. We've already talked about how sideways trading inflicts maximum pain, so that we're good. What are we going to do? HOFE. And then we'll go back to Mavis real quick. Mighty Brow says, every time I see Wafu, my brain reads it as waifu. I agree. I also see waifu. Alright, Hall of Fame on the 30-minute chart. First thing you'll notice is that we are actually following an upward trend in the 30-minute chart. This channel here is something to watch for, because as of right now, it already is pushing underneath this right here. But this upward channel of ascending resistances, if we have the opportunity to reverse after hours today, that might be the kick it needs to start rising back to the resistance here, rejected at $7. Does it get rejected anytime similar to $7 before? No. So I would say that $5 flat on the day after trading for $2.40 almost all of March. I would say this is not an attractive entry point. However, if you can watch it track back up to this channel and then go over, that would be an entry point that I would be a little more happy with. Otherwise, wait for it to go all the way back down to this double bottom here at $3.70. That would be an attractive entry point for me. Hall of Fame. You've been got. All right, let's go back to Mavis real quick. This is not Mavis. Mavis. Alright, my channel has been disproved. That's okay. Mavis is just trading sideways at $18.39. If it does end up passing at $19 again, that was the level of resistance that I drew a couple of weeks ago, I think. Yeah, if you got into Mavis early, congratulations. Palantir and Mavis were both on a massive sale yesterday. Aw, Dallas Climber, IDEX earnings tonight. Any thoughts on it? IDEX. Ideanomics. Can you check out BlackBerry? Heck yeah. We already saw that FUD article about how BlackBerry is so dumb. You know? Okay, so Ideanomics on the minute chart, following this small uptrend here. Hard to put a pointer on this. So I already put, so one of these channels that I built a while ago is this downward channel here. Broke out as of March 9th. And that's one of the reasons why now it might actually be on a impulse here. So I want to say that this is where Ideanomics is going, slowly but surely. So I can either pass through it here, or I could try to pass through it to that. No, I think that this is going to be where Ideanomics is going. After the earnings report today, let's look at if people are going to be bearish or bullish on this. Let's do a little bit of reading. And then we'll do BlackBerry in a second. So, Ideanomics is a financial content community serving millions of unique investors. What about whether it's going to beat or not? 4:30 Eastern. Oh, it already came out. Oh no, sorry. 4:30 Eastern is in an hour. Is in half an hour. Okay. Let's see. LOCK predicts stock market crash. Invest in Italian electric motorcycle company. I think that Ideanomics is in a good momentum-based move here. I would say that this is trending in this channel. It is trending upward. At the very least, at the worst case scenario, it's going to continue consolidating, and 260 should be your hard bottom here because it was supported twice. Hey, PPG Offices, thank you so much for the super. Just made a quick $550 on Mavis within a few. Thank you, you rock. Wow, scalping Mavis. That's the way we do this here, PPG Offices. I appreciate sending some of that love my way. Let's go back to Mavis here. So, still up 50%. Dang. Kevin Forrest says, hi, I've been holding CCIV and Tilray for a while now. Do you think it's possible that they will go back up, or should I cut my losses? Thanks for your time. You're the best. CCIV and Tilray. Tilray is not going to see any major moves until there's more confidence or assurance in their SPAC. Did I say Tilray? No, in their merger with Afria. And then for CCIV, they're not going to have much price movement until Lucid Motors actually sells a car. And they keep pushing off their first sale. So that's something important. Wait, we need revenue. Okay, so it looks like Warden sent me a link. Oh, it's from 23 days ago. So me and Warden are talking right now. 200 and read. The deep in the money calls are actually Melvin Citadel and friends using them to conceal FTDs. Ah, okay. What percent sure are you that this is the same deal from 23 days ago? So I'm going to ask him what he thinks about this as I go through it myself. Sergio says, I think I figured out why GME has Munya. It's because I keep drawing these lines. Oh man, if I stop drawing these lines, it'd be so much easier. No, I agree. Why do I keep doing this? Okay, the deep in the money calls. This is DD from 23 days ago by the Whack Bateman. That's a good name. Okay. Too long didn't read. The deep the money calls is Melvin, Citadel, and friends using them to conceal FTDs. Very cool. Okay, let's cover this in just a sec. Shane says, I'll buy you another GME if you analyze Visa. Okay, that's a good deal. GME is pretty expensive right now, so are you sure you're good for the money? Let's look at Visa. So, Visa is, so this is on the daily chart. Let's look at it on the daily. Oh, okay, so this is, and there is a channel upward here. I would say it is a little more volatile than your normal standard growth here. Visa, of course, let's see what happened here in February. Let's see if I can go back and look at what February has for us. What happened in February? Credit card companies are taking another swipe. Hold on a sec. Visa makes significant share sale. It's not quite obvious. Hey, Microvision. Okay, Visa. I'm gonna keep Microvision down here. But Microvision is making mad moves for that resistance, as expected. Just a little bit later, as expected, making moves for that resistance. Likely going to struggle here, but this is exciting. I've never been so excited to not own a stock here because predicting stocks, very fun. Okay, so we're about to watch the last 7 minutes of the market. Then we're going to use this article to explain exactly what the deep in the money calls are here, and then we're going to take a quick look at Visa. No, sorry, we're going to take a quick look at Visa first. So this Peaky Wiki is brought to you by that subscribe button. If you guys haven't clicked yet, you are legally not allowed to continue watching. And this is, I'm just telling you guys the facts. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but unfortunately you must be this subscribed in order to ride this roller coaster called the stock market. So this is a separated impulse here, essentially almost the exact same impulse up from 1115 to 150. That's about 35 bucks up, and then from 120 to 180, that's about 60 bucks up. So we see that these two channels upward have brought Visa to a sustainable level here at 180. When we notice that the past 180 is exactly when in January Visa starts to rise above the 70 RSI, and that is where it starts to have a little bit of trouble. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. I would say that Visa's biggest play right now, can't go any further, so let me go to the hourly chart. I would say Visa's biggest play right now is to continue following this channel here, because it is trending below 217. However, as of right now, this dip is the same as this floor right here. It fell all the way down to 206 for a brief slender candle, and then is the same floor that it's been trailing on here. I would say that it hasn't been below that floor since beginning of February. As of right now, Visa is trading right between these two levels of pretty harsh resistance and strong support. So I would say that a good entry point would likely have been back when Visa was pushing against this floor. But hindsight is 2020. If you did want to follow Visa's channel upward, you likely could buy in now, and it would still be able to catch the impulse wave up. However, I haven't analyzed much of the news catalysts, so as of right now, Visa, you have been watched. You have been warned and watched today. Okay, back to AMC real quick to see where we are. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, 5 more minutes until the market closes. Dylan Grove, hey Andrew, thanks for all your work. If you keep us apes sane. Was wondering if anything happened in the press conference last night. We still haven't heard much about it, right? It was less of a press conference and more of like a closed door announcement. So that's something that I want to be able to cover soon, right? I do want to cover soon. Let's see. Michael McLean says, dude, reports on Reddit of buy orders not being filled on many different broker platforms, all happening in the last 45 minutes or so. Today, I mean, it's not like there's major like repercussions of buy orders because we're not trying to push past a certain barrier today. It's not like many contracts are expiring on a Wednesday. There are going to be a lot more of that tomorrow, and that's why scrutiny for tomorrow is going to be pretty huge. Ooh, this is dope. Mason Brown has some new art that we're going to include in future thumbnails. Huge. Look at that. Rocket riding gorilla. So if you guys are just joining us, we are going to talk about the deep in the money calls. This is from 23 days ago, but we saw some mysterious deep in the money calls as well. So Melvin and Citadel are actually using them to conceal FTDs. Take that with a huge grain of salt because it does sound a little bit like we need to consider this as one option, right? It's an option here. And Warden seems like he is 85% sure that this is the same deal from 23 days ago. There's a post on GME that says apparently no one is selling and shows warning that order quantity is greater than what's available. Okay. Let me see if I can find that too. Mods, this is your chance to help me out here. If you guys can help me find that article. What is it? Talks about Kramer on RGME having an AMA. I think it's a setup for propaganda. I thought that was a post. I thought the post said that Kramer is not having an AMA on RGME. I mean, it would be certainly dangerous, although I don't blame whoever is hosting him. Apparently, no one is selling, is what I'm looking at here. Only from RGME. Howdy. I like how you spelled howdy with an E. Howdy. Okay, so this is the apparently no one is selling. This is with buying power 25,000. Your order quantity may be greater than the quantity of the currently offered for sale. Your order may be filled at a different price than the one last traded. Huh? No comments. Okay, weird. Oh, on WallStreetBets. Oh, seriously. Serious question, says James Rudy. What is max pain? I'm about to release a video about that soon. I'm actually ready to release that now, but I know all of you are watching this live stream, so that's not likely. Looks like GameStop is going to finish about 2% down on the day. AMC is going to about around the same, right? The only difference is that AMC is currently trading above its VWAP, so GameStop might see a reversion, a small reversion, maybe a $3 reversion in the after hours. However, AMC seems like it is exactly where it wants to be. Got my little bell ready. 30 seconds left, maybe a little less. Are you excited? Almost there. Another sideways day. We're going to talk about max pain in a second. With the more sideways it is, the further away it is from major call and put options. Therefore, you make the market maker, whoever it is, have their contracts expire out of the money, and then that inflicts maximum pain. We're done. Beautiful. Oh, ooh, perfect. All right. Those of you who are joining, we have GameStop trading less than 9 million volume, just 8.16 million volume here. Even and after hours, like I said, is likely going to try and reach that 194 VWAP here. Likely we're going to just see some sideways trading in the after hours, maybe a recontest of this 195. However, much of this is going to be paper-handed in the morning anyway. We are likely going to see a bounce early for both AMC and GME because it's just wound up in a spring, baby. We are inflicting max pain, and that is something that we at least can take home to. You guys are probably wondering what is happening with that $55 million of deep in the money contracts. So let me pull that up real quick. So this is, I'm gonna refresh it. Deep in the money contracts. Okay, so yeah, basically has the same between $3 and $19 here. Okay, so let's explain it here for everyone. Anthony Canty says, hey, I remember someone in the chat who predicted it to be closed at 190 like 20 minutes ago. What's up, Matt's chat? Give me some ducks in the chat because we are looking for you guys to tell us, hey, what to talk about, because we're going to explain the breaking news of $55 million worth of contracts deep in the money. Yeah, and Mavis has skyrocketed, as ended at 1855. Not a bad day for Mavis at all. Let's actually change this for Mavis, for this video at least. My channel was a little too aggressive here, but it ended up being where it ended for the day anyway. Let's do the 5-minute chart here. Oh wait, so ooh, I missed up on the right chart here, right? There it is. So Mavis on our left, we got GameStop on our right. Okay, so, whoa. Melvin, what are you doing here? Hey guys, we have Mr. Whiteboard here to explain what is going on with $55 million worth of deep in the money calls. If you guys are not understanding exactly what this means for GME, AMC, and the other golden boy stocks, we have exactly the news that you need right now. We noticed that this is the options chain for GME, and between $3 strike and $19 strikes, we cumulatively, especially around $12, have a cumulative of $55 million worth of calls deep in the money. And this is not the first time. This is likely a repeat of 23 days ago. Mystery solved. The deep in the money calls are coming from none other than the devil himself by user the Whack Bateman. Give this video a thumbs up. Give this Reddit post DD a thumbs up. Check out the source, show it some love, and remember, most importantly, follow the data. Do your own research. We are not financial advisors, but we are here to provide you the most up-to-date interpretations of what is happening. As a reminder, we have contracts here that are either for the option to buy or to sell. Let's say real quick, Mr. Whiteboard is going to give us a options chain here. Originally, we were looking at the call chain for the gamma squeeze for the amount of snow that we need on the ground for that snowball to travel. Let's say that this ball right here is currently at $200, right? That's roughly where GME closed earlier today. If people start putting calls along the way to, let's say, $800, which is where we want to be, then we have the ability for these margin calls to end, not the margin calls, the gamma squeeze potential for delta hedging. So let's say that this is the number of calls that we have on the way up. Well, that allows us to get closer and closer, and each time we get closer, these institutions that bet against you, right, they sold you the contract for being able to sell, let's say here at $500. If we get closer to $500, then they're going to have to buy a portion of the shares that they are ultimately going to have to give you the option, not the obligation of buying. Let's say that you bought a contract at $500. That's the option of being able to pay $500 plus a premium for 100 shares. Every single contract comes with 100 shares, whether a put or a call. Usually these are known as out of the money call options. You have to be higher than the price itself. But you can also buy deep in the money call options. Let's say that someone is buying one for $3, which we already saw that someone is doing. So how much premium does this cost? Well, you could buy an at the money call option, and that's still going to cost you something, a non-negative or a non-zero amount of money, right? You're going to probably have to pay like 200 plus like at least $20, maybe $30, $230 for the option to buy at $200. The $30 is the premium. So for $3, deep in the money, it's kind of like guessing, hey, I bet by the time next week that the sun is still going to rise. It's more of a definitive, yeah, that's obvious. So you're going to have to pay at least what the price of GME is here, probably close to what the at the money cost is. So so each of these contracts for 100 shares is likely going to cost $230 as well. So that's that's $220 plus of a premium at least. So someone is betting that GME is going to be deep down here for the option to buy it at $3. Remember, this is a pricey way to do something suspicious, and suspiciously we can point out that 23 days ago someone wrote that deep in the money call options are actually Melvin, Citadel, and friends using them to conceal FTDs, failure to deliver. So as a reminder, take this with a big grain of salt, as this is one of the possibilities. However, even people like me who are doing their own research, which you should be doing as well, and Warden Elite has 85% sure that this is the same thing that is happening this time around. Thank you for the hive mind. Thank you guys for smashing that like button early and getting us up to 100,000 subscribers soon. We're looking to get up there by sometime this month, and we would be happy to do so starting here in April. Happy end of Q1 and onwards we go to understand this from the very top. I think they've started to put the pieces together. They've been looking at option data for weeks now, and it's finally starting to make sense. The SEC has literally given us their playbook also. First transaction, reversal. If you already understand synthetic longs and how it can be used to conceal short interest, you can skip to part 2. For everyone else, let's rewind all the way to January during the first gamma squeeze. HFs got shook that everyone noticed the 140% short interest on GME. If you guys noticed as well, that's how we started this channel all the way back in the day, talking about that ridiculous once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Needed on GME and AMC, and needed a way to make it appear as though they covered without actually covering. Enter the reversal transaction. This is described in the SEC memo on page 7. For those who don't want to read it, it goes like this. Melvin: hey Citadel, I need to make it look like I covered, but I'm not trying to buy shares. Got any ideas? Citadel says, I can give you a synthetic long position. They aren't actually shares, but you can use it to report a net even position, even though you're short the real shares and the long these synthetic options, right? Well, how does that work? Asks Melvin. Citadel says, write me a $1 put for 100 shares. That means you're obligated to buy 100 shares when the price goes under $1. Not obligated, but with delta hedging, this is highly important for you to stay delta neutral. So when the price the strike price is in the money, you likely are not going to find a single one of these institutions that hasn't yet delta hedged. I'll give you the premium $1 and you give me $100 of collateral. Gotcha, says Melvin. If you followed along with that little dialogue there, if you haven't, continue listening. It doesn't exactly go like that, but hopefully you get the point. Where's the evidence for this? There's an obscene number of puts with strike prices less than $5 that only started showing up after January 22. And I go through all the evidence for this in my post here. Other users have done great DD to estimate the number of synthetic long positions here. I'll, of course, include this in the description, and you guys should show the source some love. Second transaction, reset. Time passes while apes and retail continue to buy more and more shares. This leads to FTDs that need to get closed out. Otherwise, shorters won't be allowed to short anymore. Enter the reset transaction. Basically, this allows them to close the FTD without actually buying shares. This is literally outlined in the same SEC memo on page 8. So that's one page later. For those who don't want to read it, it goes like this. Failure to deliver is something that we've covered on the channel multiple times, and I would suggest a couple of videos in the playlist down below for you to fully understand what an FTD is. FTDs hit their closeout date. Citadel says, yo, Melvin, we got to close out these FTDs if you want to keep shorting. Melvin says, yo, I'm really trying not to buy shares right now. Says, there's something else we can do. Citadel says, give me that lame printer you got. Since I'm a market maker, I'm allowed to use it to print out some synthetic shares. Melvin says, and then what? And Citadel says, after that, you buy these new prints and write me deep in the money calls so I know it's you. I'll buy it and exercise it right away, which means you got to give me those prints back. Once I get the prints back, I'll trash them and then we're net even. SEC, oh, say word, it looks like Melvin bought some shares. I don't know if it's legit, but I guess we'll just clear these FTDs from our checklist now since that's the easiest thing to do. So once again, the evidence for this, all of the deep in the money calls are being purchased consistently from floor trades at the PHLX exchange over the last week without any change in open interest. With the small trade count on these options, this is the only possible if the options are being purchased and executed at the same time. They go over data in their post here where they thought that it was a sign of naked calls. The whale being praised for these deep in the money calls is likely none other than the hedge funds market makers themselves, and they're not even actually buying them. They're just kicking the can down the road. I'm missing a couple of supers, but I'm going to cover them in just a second. Let's see, what does this all mean? Short interest data is incomplete. We even covered this a couple of days ago on the how to lie to the FINRA short interest percentage post. You guys should watch that. That's a huge post about married conversions. And right now, this is even more evidence that the short interest data is incomplete. There's no way to accurately estimate without knowing how much retail holds, which is too hard to estimate and might actually be significant considering the amount of time that's passed since January. FTD data is incomplete. With the reset transaction, they can make it appear as if the FTD is cleared without actually clearing it at all. This doesn't even get into all the ETF shorting schemes that others have DD on. If we want to see whether shorts are covering, one reliable way might be to observe the puts with strike less than $5. As soon as we see OI on those beginning to decrease, we may be able to say the shorts are covering, i.e. bears turning into bulls, right? This is the can hedge funds turn into long positions to ride out the wave. The squeeze is almost certainly not squoze. This can has been kicked down the road again. It's highly improbable that shorts were covered on the first gamma squeeze, and we know it's not because we've been following that FINRA report with the observable activity that they described in the first post. It's also highly improbable that they covered on or after the second gamma squeeze because there would be no need for the recent transactions if that were the case. And once again, we can confirm we cover the FINRA report every 2 weeks as it comes out. Too long, didn't read. The deep in the money calls are actually Melvin, Citadel, and friends using them to conceal FTDs. I think most importantly is this conversation here. Once again, if you could not follow why the current ideology that this is Melvin and friends, let's do this again step by step. There are FTDs. This is a failure to deliver only comes if you create a naked short. But Melvin doesn't want to cover these FTDs, right? So Citadel takes the printer that they have. They are market makers, so they print out some synthetic shares, and then Melvin buys those prints, writes them a deep in the money call. Citadel will buy and exercise right away, which means you got to give me those prints back. Once I get the prints back, I'll trash them, and then we're net even. Take this with a big grain of salt, because as once more, this is an important step to understand that this is still a percentage of, could this be happening? Logically, it could follow. Warden Elite and other friends have said that they are 80% sure. However, this is still not 100% in the work of journalism. This is now just about the kinds of economic research you can do by yourself here. However, here is what happens. Actually, I'm going to erase this whole thing. Let's say that they want to hurt the price. They want to hurt the price of GME so it goes up and up and up, and they want to short attack it here. In order to short attack, they have to sell shares that they don't own. So they're going to just make them invisible shares, and they are eventually going to expire. So this is a naked short. And within a certain amount of time, they're going to have to fail to deliver. In order to get rid of this, they could then go to Citadel, right, and make a very, very cheap in the money call. So Citadel, well, not very cheap, but a very low price here, so that Citadel knows that they are, these are the ones that Citadel is trying to buy from Melvin. So Melvin says, okay, how do I make sure that I get these synthetic shares? Citadel sends synthetic longs to Melvin here. We covered this a while ago. This is in the SEC documents from 2013 themselves. They can just give themselves synthetic longs here. But in order for Melvin to give this back to Citadel, they are going to place these down in the lowest call options here. So maybe like sub $5, or in our case, right, they're around $12. So right now let's do 12. And then Citadel buys them back. In this scenario, they trashed them, which is another way to say they were synthetic longs to begin with. So they were the ones that said IOU won share. They give it to Melvin. Melvin uses this to fund their FTDs and change the fact that they owe them. And then they sell these back to Citadel with the call options here. So if this made sense from a graphical point of view, this was a gross simplification, but once again, ape speech is important. Let me give Meatball a treat here for being such a good boy, and for you guys, thank you so much for dropping a like on the video, staying all the way into the end, and smashing that like and subscribe button if you guys want to continue learning and growing on this financial journey with us. I also want to thank these people who make the show possible: the Moon Platoon, the Meatball the Space Legend tier, and the Gorillionaire tier. If you want to join them and be displayed at the end of these videos, then go ahead and drop a join next to the subscribe button, or go down to the Patreon link and support me there. For now, but not for forever, I'm gonna pick up this call. Peace. I don't want to pick up this call, but I'm not sure who this is, so I'm not gonna pick up this call. I do have a new phone, so I'm sorry if you're calling me right now, because I don't know who you are. So Meatball deserves a treat. Thank you for Aaron Pasidi for the super there. Let's see. We have Jake says this morning, Acarus Rakus bet me $50 GME. No betting, guys. That's we can't have this forum be a forum for illegal betting. We have Couchman saying, did you see the post saying that a bunch of people are getting messages warning that there aren't enough shares for sale to execute their buy orders? Yes, I did see that post. Apparently no one is selling, right? Someone is trying to buy and nobody will fulfill this order. That's there, Couchman. And then Jacqueline just sent me a sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so let me see. Mavis jumped hard. Yeah, we were talking about Mavis a second ago. Can someone tell me what this means? 2021 03 12 3. It's just a bunch of gibberish. Let's see. You want to play a game? Says phone. That would be scary. I don't want to say that. I don't want to pick up the phone if that's the case. Remember, I'm not so old that you can't just text me. So whoever is calling, they should definitely just text me. And then I will find out who you are through that text. Josh says Andrew is underrated. Aw, thank you. Paul is getting aggravated. Okay. Drew, you don't fit on this screen anymore. Yeah, I keep having to go this way to check out my WeBull over here. Let me see. I'm expecting some emails here. Oh, that is a call I do need to pick up. So I'm going to put you guys on hold real quick, and I will be right back. Now that makes sense. Okay. Okay, I'm going to be back in just a hot second, so don't go anywhere. I'll be back probably in like 10-ish minutes, maybe 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere. I will be back in just a second. Okay, so that was Citadel. Unfortunately, they are getting margin called. No, just kidding, guys. We're gonna. That was the only April Fool's joke that we can afford on this show. We are back and answering your questions for at least a little bit while longer. We have had a lot of important pieces covered today, especially what is going on. If everybody's read that title earlier, GME $55 million of deep in the money calls. Right, we connected that to a post from 23 days ago. We are fairly confident that this is the same shenanigans caused by the Citadel, Melvin, and friends. They are trading back synthetic longs back and forth, and that allows them to continue pushing off the cyclicality of FTDs. That is what we are working with right now. Hope you guys enjoyed that lo-fi. That's one of my favorite musics. Let's see. Give me some scissors in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Let me see. Let me just read a couple of the questions you guys had here. Scissors, if you missed Andrew. Oh, I appreciate that. Dang, you guys are a wholesome group here. Ah, man. Okay, so I'm excited to chat a little bit more about what exactly happened. If you guys had ticker symbol suggestions that you did not get to cover, this is your chance to cover them now. We also have this here. DTCC is dad now. This we did not get to cover earlier, so this is something that is on the chopping block for now. Let's go back and zoom in here. We have reviewing the 13F HR forms of Citadel. Doesn't sound as interesting as a crap ton of options deep in the money. However, if you guys have questions on that now, going. We also have a couple of 60-second questions you guys had that I wanted to cover. Bam. Are those lo-fi tracks free? Yeah, they are in the YouTube Commons. So that is a way to help YouTube creators play lo-fi. So I just searched lo-fi. That's how I got those musics. If you are a YouTube creator yourself, YouTube Commons, go check it out. So GameStop is just trading sideways right now in after hours. AMC is as well, basically absolutely big nothing sandwich after hours, so I wouldn't worry too much about them. If you guys were curious about the AMC options chain, here's what the AMC options chain looks like. Let's give our brother some love here. AMC, a lot of $10 calls today. So a lot of people are buying at the money calls for today because AMC was just trading right at the $10 mark all day. And remember that these puts that are standing as walls are all less than $1 million each. So compare that with GME having $24 million of calls all the way at $12. Yeah, who in their right mind is putting their money right there? Manipulation. MH says, get myself a haircut, you hippie. I really do need a haircut. That's what the scissors in the chat are for. It's for my haircut. Let's see. Tyler Listenby says, we talked about that BB dip yet? Let's talk about it now. Oh, check your Instagram, Christian C Music. So Cristalino. Let me check my Instagram here. Here's how GME feels. Crystalino, your cats look a lot like mine. This is Crystalino's cats. That cat looks a lot like my cat. A little tortoiseshell, angry cat. And then this is how a GME feels right now. Oh no. Why would this... Why, just because of this little bit sideways trading, you think this is how GME feels? Ken Griffin wife about to divorce. That is Ghostal. Another thing I want to do is set up a debt collector to buy up delinquent medical debt so I can forgive it. Oh, Thaddeus, now that is a good way to spend all of your attendees. That's a really good way to put you know, an important spin in the way that the medical community works. Honestly, it's a little bit like you stepping in as a government body and doing it, you know, like how the Europeans do it. Anyway, let's see. Put the hold music back on. I can't, David. Unfortunately, you have me now. Oh, wow, you're boring. No, it's lo-fi. I like that music. Well, you're free to have your opinion, but I think lo-fi is good. Mark Lalonde, thank you for that super. I received the same message warning on my account weeks ago when purchasing GME shares. Could low volume be related to scarcity of shares? How could the volume ever ramp up for a short squeeze? So we already own 100% of the float in certain calculations. Once again, he's referring to this post here, where apparently nobody is selling. Back up a little bit. Zoom up a little bit. Zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so this is a post from 2 hours ago where buying power required is he's trying to buy 25 grand more GME, and your order quantity is greater than the quantity that is currently offered for sale. So this could be an interesting 60-second video here. So could volume ever ramp up for a short squeeze? Once again, the short squeeze is coerced buying. Not sure if this was clear. So actually this is a really good 60-second video then, because now we're talking about something that needs to be a little bit more obvious to everyone. Hold on, can I? There, this one. Put that in my face here. So I have that. I need to pull it up. Pull up your pants screen. And then I need to get rid of it. Oh, okay, great. Now I can't get rid of it. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of that. Pull up the question that you had here. Oh, there. Mark Lalonde, you're asking a great question here. Edward B is taking a beating, but I'm assuming all of this is unrealized loss, right? So Edward, never at a single point in this journey have we told you to spend more money than you're willing to lose. The reason why my portfolio is so reasonable for both AMC and GME is because that's all the money I'm willing to lose on this whole fiasco, right? So in that sense, be really clear about and honest with yourself when it comes to this. Are you going to be paper handing if the going gets tough? If that's the case, there's no shame in it. That's why we put scissors in the chat, as a reminder that you can always back out if you accidentally spent more money than you're willing to lose. So as of right now, that if you need to back away from the monitor, take a deep breather, right? As of right now, this is the main point of this story. We're just talking about the theory, talking about the financial education. Some of these people that tune in day to day are likely just learning about the stock market so that they're ready for the next once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Right now, GME is that opportunity. Okay, so... Lo-fi is amazing, says Eunice Sue Ann. That's a good name, Eunice Sue Ann. Pheasant. I want to pay attention to you, but my dog is too cute. I agree. Okay, so I'm about to start this 60-second video. Hey you guys, we have been talking all day about whether or not there is enough shares available for people to buy. A lot of people have been getting this question. right? Someone is trying to buy $25,000 worth of GME, 131 bucks, and their order quantity is greater than the quantity that is currently offered for sale. Your order may be filled at a different price than the last traded price, etc., blah, blah, blah. This is a question asked by Mark Lalonde. They received the same message warning on their accounts weeks ago when purchasing GME shares. Could low volume be related to the scarcity of shares? How could the volume ever ramp up for a short squeeze? Remember, we've been talking about how we need volume in order for the squeeze to get to a certain price, right? We talked about the mixed squeeze, we talked about the gamma squeeze, but at the end of the day, here is what you know. There are ways to be able to get the price up to a certain point where that margin squeeze will be able to take care of the rest through coerced buying. The fact that we are getting to, at the very least, according to this, 100% of the float is something that we've been calculating for years. That there is just no amount of shares left in the market that people can paper hand anymore. People are just not selling. And this is not anything new, right? Mark Lalonde has said that message from weeks ago. So there are more shares being located, right? More shares to be located to sell, more shares being located to borrow, right? And this is metrics that we need to pay attention to. However, the squeeze itself is coerced buying, either through a gamma squeeze when someone sells a contract and then need to buy the shares in order for you to have the option of buying them from the institutions that wrote that contract, or from the mixed squeeze when a margin call happens, they sell their shares right away. Let's say they have to buy out their shares right away to cover the shorts, and that is going to be from anyone willing to sell. As we climb higher and higher, that coerced buying is the volume that we're looking for. So yes, more volume now would be able to drive volatility upward for us to be able to get higher and higher in this journey. However, as they continue to short attack, as they're going to try to manipulate, and as they're being found out by the DTCC, by the SEC, and by these new regulations, we are likely going to see a major reversal soon. So once again, if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like on it, because this is a short understanding of exactly how the squeeze is going to function and exactly the conditions of the market right now in terms of how we own the float. Look at us. We are the captain now, and there have been bulls before, there have been bears, but as the guest on Trey's show said, we are now apes, and we are buying and holding. As a reminder, this is not financial advice, but I do want to advise you to smash that subscribe button if you want to help us get up to 100,000 subscribers. We are on the journey up there. We want to bring you along for your financial journey. And if you guys have not gotten your 2 free stocks from WeBull yet, it's a good opportunity to also get the technical indicator app that I use, and I'll see you in the money. Okay. All boogie. In theory of your last DD, can't hedges just keep playing deep in the money options until short interest is, quote, covered to FINRA? This is only for getting rid of their FTDs. So it doesn't improve their short interest. It just hides the fact that they're adding more naked shares. And that is kind of like, you know, you've shared recursively the stock itself, which is entirely independent from the naked shares. And now you have naked shares that are failing to deliver, and you need to cover them somehow. There you go. Okay. There's a commission on this app. What app is this? You guys know? There's a $10 commission to buy? Wow. Okay, let's see. Space Coast. I fell asleep. What happened? Oh no. Let's see now. Bought Disco A, wrong one. Oh no, I should have bought Disco B. So let's look at Disco B. Okay, yeah, so that Blackberry, you're on deck here. But that Disco B, actually it's Disca B. Wait, where's Disca B? Is it Disc B? There it is. Okay, it's up 80% on the day. Oof. So this was one of the crazy rips earlier on today. 80% on the day. Right now, the 2 major winners of the day are Disc B and Microvision. Is that a fun little segment here? Do you guys want to see like a 3-minute to maybe like a minute-long segment where it's like, hey, you guys want to know which the winners are today? It was Disc B, and it was Microvision. Oh, Meatball, that's okay now. Let's see. Andrew, what would happen to hedge funds if people flat out refuse to sell regardless of price? I just don't think that's theoretically possible, because that is the infinite squeeze in that sense. If everybody on Earth who owned GME refused to sell, that's the infinity price because of the coerced buying. And that's not likely because our concept of infinity is pretty darn counterintuitive to the idea of capitalism and numbers in general. So I would say probably not going to happen. Oh, TD Ameritrade. They are $10 per trade. Wow, $10 a trade? Jeez. I guess you won't lose money based on like the low, because usually some people lose money because they're not used to spending this kind of money. So the lower the barrier to entry, the more dangerous it is for people to lose money. Kaiser Luang, you say no more shares to buy, but I can still buy. It's because there are no shares on this magnitude, right? He's trying to buy 25 grand at the same time. Kyle G says, that reminds me of the guy who YOLO GME. Are you talking about Roaring Kitty? Get him, Meatball. Meatball the doorman. Meatball, how you doing? Meatball doing up a tech. Braka Shaka says, that's a good name. I have TD, Quest Trade, and WS Trade. WS Trade is cool for free commissions, but execution is horrible. And yeah, no options, no margin, no USD, no short selling. Hey, why don't you just get a cash account on WeBull? Get 2 free stocks on the way there too. And it's just a really, really good way to like look at stocks with these technical indicators. They're really good. James McDonald says, is there anybody working on what the new ape statue on Wall Street will look like? I'm imagining gorillas with one hand out and one holding a banana. Now, let's think about artists in the chat right now. I called out to real estate agents. I got a bunch of you contacting me out on the real estate agents. If you are one, message me at andrewmobusiness@gmail.com. And if you're an artist, we want to see pictures of what that statue on Wall Street is going to look like now. A minute ago, Finley Mulligan, are you watching right now? They're making a documentary about the squeeze. That's cool. Oh my God, are you the guy that I read earlier? Wow, the world really does work. Oh yeah, you are. Well, I know you just sent this email, so I don't want to dox you. But you know what? Now that Finley has reached out to me, let's take a look at what their documentary looks like. ApeStrongDocumentary.com. About 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. You guys have 3.5 minutes? You guys got time? Just 3.5 minutes to understand exactly what Finley's on about. 3 different documentaries. My parents would be like, what? Okay, so just join. Can you give me a quick summary of your current opinion on GME, please? So let's actually go back to GME real quick. So GME is likely going to, so right now shenanigans have occurred again, right? We saw 23 days ago that there were some very deep in the money calls, and now there's going to be even 55 million more deep in the money calls, and that is suspicious AF. We saw that there's a theory that this is likely for Citadel and Melvin to trade shares under the table so that they can focus on the cyclicality of FTDs. If that doesn't make sense, basically they are naked shorting the stock and they don't want to cover them, so they have Citadel and Melvin basically help each other. Okay. Yeah, I'm not asking you to transfer. I'm just saying open a WeBull account, right? You don't need to transfer your account. Just open one. It's free. Okay, let's look at what this. Let's take a look at what is happening with Finley Mulligan's video here. Would love to be part of it. Finley, I hope this isn't too forward, but I'm actually going to reveal this email here. Says, pleased to meet you. My name is Finley Mulligan. My brother Quinn and I are working on a documentary about the squeeze. This is from 3 minutes ago. And the flood of retail investors changing the game on Wall Street. Check out our Reddit post here. Would love to be part of it. Please use my Calendly link for setting up a meeting and talk to you soon. Okay, and now we're going to watch your video here. Watching your video on live stream to get the word out right now. Okay, so let me get in that Calendly stream, Calendly link. Documentaries, it's actually pretty exciting. That sound, oh, that hurt my ears.
My name is Finley Mulligan, and this is my twin and creative partner, Quinn Mulligan. We want to make an honest documentary about what's happening with the squeeze. You may have seen my post asking all of you what you'd like to see covered. So we read through each and every one of your comments, and this is what we've heard. 2008 matters. The greed and corruption that caused the financial collapse hasn't gone anywhere. No one's learned any lessons, and we certainly haven't forgotten. Fast forward to 2020. A global pandemic has highlighted the disparity between the richest among us and the majority. Their wealth increased by more than $1 trillion, while most of us lost our jobs. And they call you dumb money.
Should I buy 6,000 shares of Penn National Gaming, right? And let's
Keith
just
Gill.
assume the 8-ball tells me what to do. My reply is no.
Enter Keith Gill. Roaring Kitty focuses on GameStop, and in doing so, catches some of Wall Street's biggest hedge funds with their dicks in the wind.
As for me, I like the stock.
He did his due diligence, and the rest of us caught on.
GameStop!
Some 28% of Americans, and millions more across the world, bought into GameStop at one point. Now, some did it because they were bored of the pandemic, some wanted to get back for 2008, and some wanted to escape the grind that's given them nothing but debt, poor health, and no prospects. All while greedy hedge funds can profit off of driving a company like GameStop into the ground. The best thing about this is its simplicity. All we had to do was buy and hold stock in a company we believed in. And when we did, the stock price shot up. But they couldn't handle it.
We have come dangerously close to the collapse of the entire system.
They had to change the fucking rules.
It required us to restrict the buying of these securities.
But one thing they didn't count on is just how dumb our money really is.
Would you buy their stock now at roughly 45?
Yes.
For me personally, yes.
Yes!
We didn't sell. This story's just getting started. And if we don't tell it ourselves, someone else is going to tell it for us. So we want to ask the questions that you all want answers to. Like, why is the media dead focused on condescending to retail investors when they should be focused on the corruption on Wall Street? Why aren't we talking about naked short selling? Why isn't the SEC doing anything about failure to delivers? We can't make this film without your support. We're not Netflix, we're not Amazon, we're not trust fund babies. If we raise the funds for this thing within the community, we won't be beholden to anybody else's money. No one's going to tell us what to say or how to say it. If you're as stoked as we are about this project and want to see this film happen, give us an upvote. If you don't want this film to happen and think we're full of shit, give us a downvote. Or if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer each and every one of them. Now, we won't make this thing unless you all want it to be made. We'll be putting our website down below as well. Check that out. And our fundraising campaign will begin in the next few weeks here. So stay tuned and remember.
Yes, 8 strong together. Okay, so I think this is just gonna be called Ape Strong Together, Doc. So there we go. I'm gonna put this in the description so you guys can find it. Apes Strong Together, Doc. Heck yeah. So I saw this earlier this morning, but when it's market hours, I'm really afraid of like ruining the stream early. So if any of that music was copyrighted, I'm gonna have to, you likely have just saw me like basically glitch from the beginning of that video to the end because I had to cut it out. So hopefully none of that was copyrighted music. However, the message is really good. documentary of this should be told by apes, right? And we know that Vice is trying to do one. We know that Netflix is trying to do one, right? I'm talking to Vice's. I'm actually gonna be on a call with Vice right after this call, I think. Yeah, shoot. Okay, so right after this live stream, I'm talking to Vice and passing on the word that, you know, Matt Kors is also gonna be part of the Netflix documentary, but he's not part of the Vice one yet. So I'm dropping the word out to get Matt on the project, right? Trey is more bullish on AMC, but he was interested in talking to Netflix, and I'm gonna drop his name as well, right? Hodlman together strong. This is the point, right? Gorillas and ducks in the chat. We're supporting each other. Ape strong together here. Oh man. Yeah, the music was a little loud, but that's okay. I think it would have played better in like a theater. Ape strong together. They should have an interview with all the future AMC and GME gorillionaires. The gorillionaires, ladies and gentlemen. Apes together strong, not apes strong together. Sorry, my bad. But anyway, all of the details are in the description now. Oh, let's see. Patrick Hinman bought my house for 180, sold for 480. Nice attendees. Your house? Let's see. What do ducks mean? Ducks is for whatever inside joke with Matt Kors and his duck shirt. I suppose it's an inside joke that you had to be there for. Doesn't really that matter. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and see if, oh look, another real estate agent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 real estate agents now. Once again, if you are an accountant, I'm not sure how you have so much time to watch this video, but if you are one, reach out to me. Guys, don't forget about your taxes. I really need to do my taxes. Now's the time of the show that where you guys ask me any questions. DJ Dino says, am I saving this video? Yes. I always save every live stream. Okay, let's see what's going on with Twitter. Oh. Okay, checking on my Twitter. So we saw this Muhammad Ali clip from someone who tagged me. That's really cool. That was you. You know what I'm talking about. And we also have Superman, if he isn't afraid of green rocks, looking for me this morning with a John Travolta meme. That's good. Let's see. And that's it, I think. I'm not super good at seeing. Oh, here. When watching is a non-advice. Thought this, appreciate you. Thought this is Meatball's account. Wow. Is this your art? So we have some Mark Gonzalez showing his HODL art here. Very cool. What's happening tomorrow with the ETF rebalancing? We have a video about that, so that's going to come out in just a sec. Angie, you could do an arbitrage on your apartment and turn it into an Airbnb, not financial advice. I don't think that's the definition of arbitrage. I'm not sure if I see that. If there's a connection, it's tenuous. There you go. Where last we left the adventuring party. Does anybody remember? Says Dustin Hennessy. What catalysts are we coming up for AMC? AMC after that earnings report just hasn't had a ton. We're likely looking at that. So let's look at AMC here. We're likely looking at the DTCC new rules to affect AMC and GME in particular together. Finley got back to me. Seems like he has used my link. Let's see when he's going to talk to me. I'm not sure. I don't see him using the link yet, but maybe he will. Hold on. Let's see. I'm not selling Harry says, is it possible to link a GME share to something unrelated, BTC crypto, because my Mana crypto chart has started to look very similar to GME for the past day. Crypto maps out to, well, okay, so as far as I'm aware, I don't think so unless there's a specific ETF that connects them. And I don't think there would be one. So this is possibly coincidence, although if you continue to see that, definitely let us know. Martin, thank you for the super. Can you explain today's strange drop in a few cryptos? Big shout out to all the apes from Poland. Hey, Jak się masz? I think. Is that Polish? Let's see. Meatball, that is plenty of that. That's enough of that. So I want to see what Bitcoin is right now. Bitcoin didn't drop, although it did see a brand new high of about 59K. And what other cryptos there? Ethereum? Wow, Ethereum is just ripping, huh? So Ethereum would have been a fun play for a couple of days ago. I just saw some YouTubers talk about Ethereum too, and it just rose from 1800. That's rose 10% today. Wow, that's pretty ridiculous. Oh, Trey is messaging me. One sec. What is Trey saying? Finley, right? That's his name. That's actually a different documentary. Haha. By the way, let me know if you want to jump in this live stream. Just to say hi, or vice versa on your channel later today or tomorrow. We're worried about Trey, although I'm texting him right now, so he's okay. Let's see. Meatball thinks it's Polish. A gorilla matador with a space helmet standing between the fearless girl and the charging bull. Bam, mic drop. Gabe Plankton. Let's make that happen. Do we need to have this be a whole video by itself? A gorilla matador. Now that sounds amazing. Can you guys even think about that? That's ridiculously cool. So I need to get rid of this. This screen is starting to become a big mess. Okay, artists, look at Gabe Plankton. First of all, fantastic username over here. And we have been talking about art ideas for a brand new gorilla statue on Wall Street. And it should be a gorilla matador with a space helmet standing between the fearless girl and the charging bull. Bam, mic drop. Ladies and gentlemen, mic drop it is. Okay, make it happen. Send it to Andrew Mo Money on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll see you in the money. Oh. Okay, phew. Carrie Hodson, thank you so much for joining as a Moon Platoon member. I appreciate that a ton. Lost Waves. Miley Cyrus is giving away $1 million in stocks. Is that right? Let's see. Does Belmont live stream without him on cam? Just like the stock prices themselves? Bob Louie. I'm talking about quad digits for the Gamma Squeeze first rocket. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that that is the first part of the rocket. Hey, can you please tell Meatball that Campbell said hi? Says Cam the Man Kardashian. Meatball. I just wanted to let you know that Campbell said hi. Here you go. There you go. That's from Campbell. Okay. How are you doing, Andrew? I missed you. Oh, David Barr, you know, I missed you too. Thanks for dropping a comment in here. It means a lot. We're just talking stonks. Just answering your questions here to talk back. If you guys show up late, this is the kind of energy that we have. Just chill, vibing, right? We're learning from each other, growing, feeling strong. How long has this live stream lasted? Because I remember the last time that 6 hours was too long. Oh, only 3 hours. Oh, that's right, because I only started at 11. Yeah, it's only been 3 hours, guys. We're moving strong here. I think this is the time that Uncle Bruce winds down. So if you're coming from Uncle Bruce, drop some bagels in the chat. What's going on here? I don't think anyone knows what Belmont looks like. Yeah, I don't even know what Belmont looks like, and I've had multiple calls with him offline. Imagine being the dude at the hedge that's beginning to hide from his bosses because he's trying to explain that there is no more people to plug the holes in the ship. Abandoned ship. Oh no. Aviv Mal says, hi, Andrew, what's up? I don't think I've ever mentioned about how long have I had Meatball? I've had Meatball for 4 years now. Because I adopted him on Clear the Shelters Day when he was 4. So, yep, there you go. Oh, Finley says, just jogged back on your stream. Thanks so much for the promotion. That's super kind of you. Dude, of course. If you're still watching right now, heck yeah. Your documentary trailer was very cool. I can't wait to be part of it. Let's see. Bob Lewis says, I really want to see some more vlog content and lifestyle with Professor Meatball. I had a whole video about that, day in the life of a data scientist. However, I've been very afraid of letting that be public. So I actually unlisted it like a month ago because I don't want to be doxxed. But yeah, that's why that content is not easy. However, I think the pool is open in this complex, so I might be going to the pool today. That might be on Instagram. If you guys have not followed yet, we're trying to get to 4,000 followers on Andrew Mo Money on Instagram. And of course, everyone who's watching right now has obviously already subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hey, I think actual Uncle Bruce just finished. So drop a bagel in the chat if you are from Uncle Bruce. Okay, so we are 460 subs away. If we can get to 420 subs away from 75,000, that'd be great. We just need 40 of you to subscribe. 40 of you to subscribe, and then we are 420 away from 25,000. That's a fun number. Hello World says, do you think about OMI, and did you end up getting any Palantir the other day? I sure did. Hello World, do not rub it in. I forgot to. After the stream, I just went, ugh. Did not have a chance to yet. Traditional Man says, curious to hear your thoughts on my comments. What comment did you have before? What comment? Just post it again. I don't want to go up and find it. Nazmi Oskan says, hey Andrew, switch off to today internet and watch some TV. Heck yeah. Thanks for supporting the show. Observe thyself dropping one bagel in the chat. One lonely bagel from Uncle Bruce. Observe thyself, as always. You know that YouTubers support each other. You can always just tell Uncle Bruce's stream to come on over here, and that way we'll switch off. Pass over some to one YouTuber and pass off to the other one. Coney says, Coney 2021 GME? What the heck is that username? Often before a short squeeze, there's a deep, deep drop. Do you think this drop will happen, or will Gamma counter it? Looking for an entry point. I don't think a deep, deep drop is going to happen. Because if a deep, deep drop happens, then right now a lot of people are worried about paper handling. That's why the bastion of this YouTube community is one of the last ones to hold on tight for this narrative. Do you want it to be a bad one? maybe a good one, right? That's why you gotta keep on tuning back in and watching. Jay Ray says, Mo Money put 5K into BlockFi with your link. When will I get the free crypto? I think in 30 days. So let's press the link myself. If you guys haven't yet, I think this is the time of the day to drop some fat stacks into BlockFi. I think it's already been 30 days since I used my own link. But if you guys don't have BlockFi, that's a mistake because you want that money to put into an 8.6% savings account. That's impossible. Israel, thank you for the super. Okay, so log into BlockFi. One sec, almost done. Oh man, I've gotten $100 in interest. So, you know, it's $100 of interest for doing absolutely nothing. Feels pretty good, right? So you could easily buy some Bitcoin or some Ethereum here. I almost bought it at 52,000, so I totally blame myself. Okay, so this right now, all of my money is in GUSD. So you can easily just continue having your money in GUSD. There's absolutely no shame in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deposit. Right, it's time to put more money into the account. Right, so you can deposit upwards of 5,000 a day. So I'm going to review and confirm. I authorize BlockFi to do this. Okay, confirm. And boom, done. Deposit, done. Easy peasy. It's so simple. So if you guys wanted, you guys don't get the $250 of free BlockFi unless you use the link in the description down below. I'm also going to put in the live chat right now. Get free BTC. You also get $250 of free BTC. Good afternoon, Andrew, says Devil Spawn. What's going on, Devil Spawn? Appreciate talking to you. JC13 says, Andrew, you're officially something I binge watch. Definitely learning a ton. Love the content. Hodl to the moon. I appreciate that. Law's World says that gorilla statue should be an ape standing with one hand firmly grasping a banana. Firmly grasp it. And the other hand pointing to the sky. Two small apes surrounding, both sitting aloof. Now, that sounds pretty cool, too. Bagel. What are the in the money calls? So if you guys are just joining from somewhere that you guys didn't hear this, we've been talking about it all day. But $25 million of deep in the money calls right here. What are in the money calls? They are call options, the option to buy a stock for a certain amount of money that is lower at a strike price, lower than the price of the stock itself. So as of right now, GameStop is roughly around here, 190. Yeah. So this would be at the money if you were buying $190 strike price here, but you can also buy some crazier calls here for some reason. Why would you want to do that? Well, we covered exactly why, and we'll clip that up later, but hint, hint, it is likely something that's happened already a month ago with Citadel and Melvin trading synthetic longs under the table. Observe thyself. A bunch of us were talking about the everything short. DD would love to hear your thoughts. There's a whole video of my thoughts. I even do some whiteboarding of that. It has Citadel's CEO Kenny G sitting pretty scary in a hellish fire thumbnail. So you go ahead and look at that. Statue with an ape with a meatball sitting at his side. Heck yeah. Devil Spawn says, just cooking dinner, having my world famous burgers. Devil Spawn, I have to have your burgers. Boy, oh boy. Traditional man. Sorry, I keep missing your message. Traditional man says. Okay, I think you're trying to post a link, and YouTube automatically blocks links. I can't even see it, so unfortunately, I can't see your message here. Oh, John Dillon cannot wait to see Godzilla vs. Kong. Heck yeah. Microvision Moon today was freaking awesome. It was. Information hungry. Ooh, please. Ooh, please what? Information hungry says, ooh, ticker. Oh, that's the ticker itself. Ooh. Energy fuels. Ooh. Okay, let's take a quick look. All right, so there's this descending channel here. Oh, this is a minute chart. Let me see on the hourly. Oh wow, triple quadruple bottom down here at 360. Strong impulse here that corrected minorly, got up to 680 here, pushing up from 460 here. So that is another impulse wave that put into a correction. I would say right now it is in a strong entry point based on the last month's worth of data. It's likely going to want to recontest this resistance here at 620. Its reward isn't half bad, but its risk is dropping down to 480 as a whole dollar on your $6 portfolio. So I would say in terms of risk reward, we will have to fully understand a couple of the catalysts here, and there hasn't been one since the 22nd. So I would say that's the problem with stocks that don't have a lot of scrutiny, because they don't act as predictable as, let's say, a Microvision. Oh, Biden speaking now on infrastructure and tax increases. How do I show off Biden? Is that content that we want to even see? It's showing on Meet Kevin right now.
50 billion.
Well, I don't. Oh, so here is Biden talking. Biden already finished talking.
Way again. Raise their family, pay their taxes, serve their.
How long does he talk for? He talks for like 10 minutes. Israel Jr. Montoya says, forgot to write the message. Lol. Why is today's SLR for AMC important, or it's not? Holding 181 shares. It means that the institutions no longer have a easy pass for the amount of cash they can hold on hand. Imagine that your boss, or what's an easy way to understand this? Let's imagine that your boss lets you go in late to work, right? And it's because of the pandemic. So now you don't have to, now you are used to going to sleep later and later. Now that that rule is over because the pandemic is easing up, you're not used to waking up early, and you're not used to going to sleep early either. However, all of that's changing by tomorrow. Instead of amount of time that you sleep, think about money on hand instead. So they're going to have a lot more money on hand, but they're not used to it for the least like 10 months now. So they're going to have to find a lot of money soon, and that might signal sell-offs. Not likely AMC or GME, but this is going to be sell-offs on other portfolios. Oh shoot, that's my email. What kind of questions do I have right now? An ape riding the back of a bull. That's a good idea too. I like the ape matador though. That's my favorite idea so far. Yeah, Alexis Goldstein will be doing an AMA Ask Me Anything on Reddit on Friday. We'll be covering that. Is this a live video or just chat? No, this is live. What's up, Jarilla? Jarilla K? How's it going? Meatball. You want a little treat here? It's a big fur here. There you go. Is tomorrow a big day? It's likely going to be for certain contracts. However, GME and AMC don't seem like they have a big gamma ramp already. So, but I could dig a little more. Let's see. Let me see what kind of question you guys got here. Vintil says 0 shares available to short. What does that mean for us, Andrew? It means that they're just going to have to find other ways to short, but they can't short based on the conventional means of just trying to borrow it from somebody. They have, and Vintil is not a source of truth by any means. However, that is one of the, you know, a sneak hint of like how many shares there actually are. Bill Murray, don't worry, Bill Murray. Hey Andrew, love the show. What's up with the 100 million sell volume in DJI right before close? What's up with that? So I don't follow the Dow Jones that closely, but in essence, it could be people. So it could be that sell-off that we've been waiting for, right? With the SLR, right? They need money, so people are going to sell a shoot ton in order to make sure that they have enough money on hand for tomorrow, while the SLR restriction is now, the temporary rule is now let up. And if that doesn't make sense yet, I have a couple of videos about SLR coming out soon. However, most importantly, just know that institutions need cash, and if they sell a bunch of stocks, they'll have cash. There you go. TRX, please, now up around 30% today alone. Tanzanian gold. I don't look at penny stocks very closely. Oh, this was at one point a $2 stock here. Tanzanian gold? This already sounds like a dubious stock. So as of right now, I would say volatility of penny stocks is unparalleled, so I don't want to make any predictions, but it looks like that this hard floor here is at 55 cents. I don't think this is the same TRX in my opinion. This is probably the wrong TRX. Up around 30% today. Yeah, this is the wrong TRX. I think you're talking about a different one. This TRX. Okay, here we go. Up 45% today. So it's almost a cent. Well, we know. So this is a runaway stock, of course, but like just how far is it going to run away here? The daily. Yeah, this is a runaway stock. I mostly trade in momentum and patterns, and right now this up channel is likely where TRX is heading. So it depends on how far you want to look out into the future. However, there's likely going to be a major correction soon back down to this resistance line. Expect to bounce off of the resistance line, but as of right now, this is something that we want to say, don't catch a runaway stock. It's the same as trying to catch a falling knife. Andrew is an amazing name. Andrew needed an employee. If you would like to work for me, I am starting an unpaid internship. Maybe, I'm not sure. I just sent out some papers for incorporation for an LLC. So that, I'm not sure when that's going to come back. But when it does, I'll be transferring that into an S Corp. Excited for that. Could you go over TRCH, says Giofranco, please and thank you. Just real quick. TRCH. Whoops. TRCH. Torchlight. Oh. Here's what I want to put this trend line. I'm not sure if this is the bottom yet, though, is the problem. So here's this channel coming up. Yeah, here's that channel coming up. And it passes through this line here. So you could see that there's this delta missing here for this chart. It could try and return up to the EMA. You see how this channel that I created here tests the EMA? So Torchlight could be on a path for an impulse coming up soon. If you do see it return to the EMA and start to connect to my channel here, I'm expecting it to be around $2 sometime in April. If it's $2 sometime in April, then it should be on a major reversal. And its reward all the way back up to 5. J Ray has a master's degree in business and data analytics. Ooh, I'm not looking for a data analyst. But I appreciate it. Brandon Bramlett, you can look at Good News. We looked at Good News a couple of times already. Let's just do a quick recap of Genius. So with this, oh no, that's right. I built out that that upward channel during the day before, right before this crash here. So this upward channel still ascending level of resistance and support here. It still holds fairly confident if we can retest this 235 within basically tomorrow. If this doesn't get over 235, then it is going to be either consolidating or a going to be trading sideways for a good amount of time. Oh, Aviv Mall says if we reach 80,000 subs, he's going to buy 30 grand more GME. 80,000 subscribers it is, Aviv Mall. We're not that far away. I just want to know exactly, like, I need more feedback in general. Like, what exactly are people waiting for when it comes to hitting that subscribe button, smashing it, you know? Yeah, Disco B, we already covered Disc B. Back up in the live chat a little bit, right before Power Hour ends, and I was covering Disc B. Avdil Luma saying, what's going on with that title? Oh, this is AMC. Here's GME. $55 million worth of call options. Where are they coming from? We investigated this last month, and it's likely going to be Citadel passing synthetic longs back and forth under the table with Melvin. That's just a hypothesis, though. That's just a theory, a game theory. The news catalyst on Mavis was Microsoft HoloLens, correct? Brad O'Connor says, JK, I've been subscribed since Feb. I do need a haircut, though. Meatball, can you give me a haircut? You know how to do haircuts, Meatball? Yeah. Yeah. Silly boy. Silly old bear. A Mo Money cut. Let's see. A guy in our GME tried to buy GME, but the broker said they have to wait until they're available for the sale. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm gonna clip up that in a second. Covered that already. Where is that? I already deleted it. Here it is. I already covered that. Tom J says, I wish I could just print synthetic cash like these hedge funds. Dang. How is Citadel's interest so small? Because we've covered that in the video of how to lie to FINRA, right? So this is exactly how they do married conversions. They do a lot of different ways to be able to push the price of the stock down without directly shorting it. Brandon Hallam says, checked my account. It's full of hedge funders' money. Let's see. Just tweeted you a DD from Carlos Trade. Okay. Go check out my Twitter. Finally catching up with a couple of things here. How many followers do I have on Twitter? Oh, almost as much as my my YouTube. Wait.
It's always a good day in Tandyland, USA.
Huh. Oh. This is nice. I'm learning how to tweet. Here it is. Hold on, wait, is this back to the happy place, or is that you? Carlos Trades. Ah, yes, I remember Carlos Trades. Sorry for the delay. It's caused me 3 freaking hours to put this mini thread together. Oh god, is this gonna take 3 freaking hours to read? Okay. Gabe Plankton. Okay, we're gonna read this and then we're gonna be good. I was just working one day when all of a sudden, oh, squeezing the lemon diamond handed says, just tweeted me a DD from Carlos Trade. I guess I'm gonna have to read it. What's going on, guys? We're gonna read a little bit about Carlos Trades. He gave us a comprehensive overview of what happened earlier on in the GME saga. We covered his DD before, and now we're gonna cover this one. Sorry for the delay, but it's literally cost him 3 freaking hours to put this mini thread together, and it's going to cost you more if you don't start investing your time into your financial education journey. Best way to do that is to follow me and subscribe to this video, because the more subscribes that we have, up to 100,000 subscribers, we are going to continue bringing us along the journey, and likes on this video help show other Moon Platoon members. So let's cover this. Sorry for the delay. It's cost me literally 3 freaking hours to put this mini thread together. My only request is that you quote, retweet with GME and AMC hashtags. That's once again at Carlos Trades, right? Go ahead, retweet him. Make sure that you are showing him some love. Boom. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to like this thread. Here we go. Read this, you will understand without a doubt and be able to educate others how it is that the price keeps dropping. This is the question everybody asks him, especially when he says that the hashtag stock drop, people buy it. Help me spread like wildfire. Here we go, GME. Over the course of the recent days, they've noticed something that has been bothering him big time. That is the borrowing fee of GME. By comparison to everything else, GME fee is lower than ICE, AMC, TCAT, most other stocks, to be honest, which they find irrational. And of course, we have seen this ourselves. Here is the borrow fee versus the short availability float, right? This is a logarithmic x-axis, which means that this goes up from 1% to 10%, 100%, and then 1,000%. Look at TCAT, right? TCAT has almost no shares available to borrow, and therefore its borrow fee is close to 500 to 1,000%. Not GME though. GME's is under a 1% borrow fee, even though it's on the same x-axis as TCAT. That's just a little bit more about exactly how unusual this is. Every other stock lands on this distribution somewhere, but not GME. So back to Carlos. If the price was going down, wouldn't the fee be blowing up? I mean, CNBC and reputable finance websites are telling me the price for GME is going down, yet the fees are this low. However, put your tinfoil hats on, this is where we go nuclear. The situation, in his opinion, is more dire than it appears. You should know that about naked shorting, and if you don't, let's recap. Naked shorting is the act of short selling shares that do not exist. Naked shorting is very similar to counterfeit money, where if you introduce too much cash into an economy, the value of the currency will drop. That's kind of like just regular money too. That's inflation. Mr. J. Powell, the money printer, could end up causing the value of the currency to drop, and counterfeit money would too. The only difference is that naked shorting is oftentimes very legal depending on your intentions. The more there is of something, the less valuable it is. Same concept with naked short. The question is this illegal? Yes, with malicious intent, right? Why does this happen so much with GME, and more importantly, why isn't it stopped? Good question. So hedge funds are allowed to buy SEC to sell hashtag stocks, in this case GME and AMC, before they even have them because of their positions in the overall market, carrying such huge trades and trading so quick that they have billions in assets moving constantly. They are granted a privilege to sell without having it. Right? This is the concept of a naked short. It's the same concept as when you get paid. The checks actually take about 2 weeks or so between banks, but you receive the money instantly on Fridays while that process takes place. Same here, and it makes total sense. The problem lies in that there is not enough supervision. Hedges, hold on, what? Dallas Harvey is saying, give Meatball a treat for this joke. If you get alimony from a divorce, then what do you get hegemony from the short? Oh man. Almost don't want to give him a treat for that. Thank you for the dad joke, Dallas Harvey. Okay, their problem lies in that there is not enough supervision, and hedgers are taking advantage of this to cover their position, which according to some WallStreetBet estimations can be an overexposure of over 200%. To disguise this, they employ the power of options. These hedge funds granted by the SEC2 are allowed to share the power to others that meet certain criteria to sell shares without actually having them. See, this is how crazy this is getting. So this new hedge fund that got loaned the power to sell stocks without having them raised money by selling put options and making a profit off of the premium. This money is then used to counter the positions they were originally caught. However, the catch is that before they sell puts, they also sell short stocks. That way, when the puts are sold, the stocks drop, and then they have to buy it back and keep the difference. Hence, why we see these vertical drops in price. This explains it all. Once more, right? Where the catch is when they sell puts, they also have to sell short stocks. That way, when the puts are sold, the stocks drop. This is the conversions that we talked about in the How to Lie to a FINRA report video. If you guys want to see that, I'll link it down below. It's really simple when it comes down to it. If I don't link it down below, it's because I forgot, and you guys should write in the comments that I should do that. It's one of the videos that essentially says how to lie to FINRA. If you were doing that calculation, you are wondering, so wait, these stocks people are buying that don't exist? What happens to their value, especially when there are so many people buying them? Do you lose your money? The whole point of the movement is that hedges are so indebted in GME that they would be forced to liquidate every asset to cover for this scheme. That's the margin call, right? When they finally don't have enough money, that even if they sold every other stock, they would still not be able to buy back the GME that they owe. That is the margin call. That they are, as you can see, trying to prolong the process to try and raise as much capital as possible to cover as much as they can. They explains why the borrow fee going back is so low. They are enticing everyone to buy with drastically low fees by adding uncertainty to the market when they vertically drop the prices through the process that Carlos just explained. It's a cycle. Hedge fund shorts GME and places puts on GME. The GME put is bought, which raises capital to the hedge because it lowers the prices, especially when exercised, plus the revenue from the premium. They then also buy the stock back and raise that capital, #stocks. This is similar to the same idea of a married put conversion. Not quite the same, and I think Carlos understands that nuance, hopefully. If you guys wanted to fully embrace that nuance, that video once again that we just released yesterday. Right now, the problem with GME in particular is that the market capitalization is unknown because of naked shorts. There are a lot of theories as to what the price for this is because the data is unknown, since so many naked shares, the fake currency version of stocks, have. This is a little dangerous because he's trying to say naked shorts are the same as counterfeit money. Counterfeit money has no actual like obligation. Even a naked short, if you bought a share of GME and it turns out that the person that sold that share to you was naked shorting that particular trade, it's still a share of GME. They just have to find someone at the end of the day. For a counterfeit bill, like a US dollar that doesn't like one of these, where's all my fake money? Here. Like one of these bad boys, that has no obligation for anyone to cover. So there's not quite the same as counterfeit money. Let's see. With the DTCC recent actions, it shows that they are also scared about what is going to happen, not only the GME and AMC, but the entire market. The fact that they are doing this demonstrates to me that they are in a really bad position. Liquidity shortfalls, right? This is the goal of managing NSCC's qualified liquidity resources to maximize resource availability in a evolving stress situation, to maintain flexibility in the order and use of sources of liquidity, and to repay any third-party lenders of liquidity in a timely manner. We've talked about all of these brand new NSCC rules here. Some estimates on WallStreetBets by really good DD projects projects that they are under 150 to 200% under. Well, folks, that is all. I hope that you liked this thread. Took him a long time to put together. Seems like he is a knowledgeable fellow, and a lot of this connects to the story that we have been telling for the last few videos here. If you guys wanted to watch a playlist of this put together, then go ahead and play that playlist as we go along. I'm going to take this, put it in the description so that you guys know how to give Carlos some thanks. Carlos source. And as always, thank you, Squeezing the Lemon Diamond-Handed, for dropping this suggestion. If you do want to also interact with me, follow me on Andrew Mo Money on any social media platform is a good idea, as well as smashing that like button so that more apes can find Carlos's DD and show him some love from the description down below. If you guys like this video, thank you for liking it, and if you guys want to follow along for your financial journey, subscribing and hitting that bell button is the best way to do it. We're on our way to 100K, and we'd like you to come on board. Thanks to all of the Moon Platoon members that joined on this tier, the Meatball Space Legend tier, and the Gorillionaire tier for keeping and supporting the show on the air, and we will see all of you in the money. I'm going to dip now. I'm going to dip. I appreciate how all of you are here. This is the end of the show for today. I added a couple of extra hours because like 30 minutes more, right? I added a couple extra minutes because I wanted to apologize for the technical difficulties for the beginning of the day, right? I'm going to be showing up at 5 a.m. tomorrow as an attempt to see what it's like to switch up the schedule a little bit and see if you guys are interested in joining me this early. Wake up bright and early with me, and we will see you soon. Once again, thank you guys. I'm going to see if you guys have any more questions before I go. Mighty Brows and Gosu are here. What's going on? Dallas Harvey told that joke about hegemony. Very nice. And let's see. Yeah, no more questions. Thaddeus Gosto, Gosu, Thomas Gotti, Angelo Messina, Brandon Hussaby, Il Gil Bates, Austin Lambert, Stray X, Workphone. I'll see all of you soon in the money. Meatball, you want to say goodbye? Yeah, he's giving you the goodbye side eye. For now, but not for forever. Peace. I'm gonna wait a sec just in case there's some latency.